Just on the other side of the pumpkin patch, we're just about ready for kickoff here in Tampa. These teams, being division rivals, met twice last year, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers under John Gruden, then in his first year on the way to a Super Bowl title, lost only 4 games, but 2 of them came at the hands of this New Orleans Saints squad. And New Orleans comes in with a record of 3-5 under Jim Haslett, having lost last week in overtime to the Carolina Panthers.
And Kurt, you talked a moment ago about Tampa Bay's 3 losses. You know, 2 of those losses came in freakish ways. I mean, Carolina blocks 2 field goals and an extra point to beat them in overtime earlier, and then they lose a 21-point comeback to the Indianapolis Colts.
Here's Michael Lewis taking the opening kickoff from the 1-yard line. He slipped, regained his footing, and got it out to the 29. It'll be a return of about 27 yards. David Gibson on the tackle, and we'll get a chance to see Aaron Brooks and this New Orleans Saints offense from the get-go. Brooks completed 61% of his passes, and he's been hot the last 3 games. 7 touchdowns, only 1 interception thrown. He performed well in the 2 games last year that were victories over this Tampa Bay team. 4 touchdowns and 1 interception in getting the 2 wins. They'll start today from the 29-yard line.
Turn your way. I'm gonna get closer to you there.
Hands it off to Duce McAllister. McAllister picks up 5 yards on the first play. This offensive line for the New Orleans Saints. Keep an eye on the left guard, Kendall Jaycox, playing with a sore knee. We'll see if he can make it all the way through. And you got a chance to see Duce McAllister on that first play, going for his 6th straight 100-yard rushing game, which would be a franchise record. Right now, he is tied with Ricky Williams at 5 straight. Mike McCarthy is the offensive coordinator for the New Orleans Saints. You see Brooks changing the play at the line of scrimmage. McAllister again, gonna go nowhere. Hit right there at the line of scrimmage by Jermaine Phillips, part of this Buccaneer defense. The front 4 you know so well, and Simeon Rice has been playing very well. 8 sacks, 2nd in the National Football League. The linebackers, Ryan Neese, Shelton Quarles, and Derek Brooks, 3 familiar names, if not household, Quarles and Neese. And in the secondary, Rondé Barber's the experienced one right now because they are playing without John Lynch, whom we said is missing with that next stinger for the 2nd straight week. Monty Kiffin trying to find a way to devise a couple of schemes with a lot of young players back there in that secondary.
3rd and short is where Tampa Bay beat the Cowboys last week.
Well, New Orleans will beat them on this play as Duce McAllister picks up the first down.
And Kurt, the formula for beating Tampa Bay this season has been come out and run the football. That's exactly what Mike McCarthy is doing, calling 3 runs right in a row.
Well, the knock against the Buccaneers defense, which everyone is talking about, is it the best ever, that kind of thing, has been their light up front. People see Warren Sapp and his big girth, but not a whole lot of big bodies up there.
I think the key today for Duce McAllister is a lot of times Duce will just shake at the line and bounce it outside. Today he wants to run right at it and keep his run style on the inside.
Well, they go with 4 straight running plays. Tampa Bay sniffed that one out. Only a yard pickup by Duce McAllister, but absolutely no secret so far. 4 plays, 4 runs by McAllister.
I think when you talk about John Lynch's absence, you have to realize that Jermaine Phillips is a very physical, very adequate player to come in and back up John Lynch and play that safety position, which is so important in this gap defense. Gap meaning they take their 7 front guys, each guy's responsible for a gap, and so the safety becomes an extra or free hitter.
Saints going with 2 tight ends. Brooks back to pass for the first time. Throws that one out of bounds, being pressured in there by Anthony McFarland, so he had to get rid of it. Anytime you got a guy nicknamed Booger coming at you, that means throw the ball, right?
Well, when he's doing what Booger does right on this play, he comes right up through, splits the center of the line, and Aaron Brooks, you know, you showed it a few moments ago. In the last 4 games, 7 touchdowns, only 1 interception. That is going to be critical for him. If they're going to beat Tampa Bay today, they cannot have those turnovers against this defense.
3 wide receivers in on 3rd down. They need the 48 of Tampa Bay for the first.
And the key for the Saints on 3rd down in a passing situation has been Joe Horn.
Brooks working out of the shotgun. He's got the time. Throws it. Michael Lewis on the sideline made the catch. Good enough for the first down, but he was absolutely lit up as soon as he made the grab by Tim Wansley.
Boy, Mike Lewis did a super job hanging on to that football. You're going to see him get right between the seam of the zone, and here comes Smith, full bore, and he makes him pay for that catch.
It was actually Dwight Smith. He had gotten by Wansley, and Smith made him pay, but it was good enough for a pickup of 14 yards and a first down by the Saints. Ball at the 42 of Tampa Bay. There's Duce McAllister again, trying to feel his way. He does for a pickup of 2 yards on the play. You know, one thing I noticed on that play, and I've seen it a couple times already today, is Joe Horn's the only wide receiver in the ball game. They've had 2 tight ends in several times, but they're kind of depleted in the wide receiver corps this week.
And Joe Horn didn't practice all week, and I think just having him out there at all, Kurt, is very important for the Saints, because as they continue to run the football and try to run the football and get the Tampa Bay defense focused on stopping Duce McAllister, they're going to have to come back to Joe Horn as an option.
He's the only wide receiver again. Dante Stallworth inactive today, still bothered by that bad quad. Here's Duce McAllister trying to stretch it out. Gets away from a couple of tacklers, finally wrapped up by Jermaine Phillips. But another short pickup of 3 yards on the run.
And on this play, Kurt, you get to see why Duce McAllister, part of the reason he's the #4 rusher in the National Football League, because Rondé Barber, who's an outstanding tackler, gets off the block and on Duce McAllister, but McAllister, a lot bigger and a lot stronger than people realize, runs right through Rondé Barber's tackle.
Another third down for the Saints.
I think they've got a matchup out here that they've got to like. Tim Wansley against Joe Horn.
And there's a penalty marker on the play. It'll be our first flag of the day. Jerry Austin, the referee, and that'll be against the Saints.
Ball start, 68 offense, 5 yards. It's still third down.
The right tackle, Victor Riley, getting an early start. So it turns what may have been a manageable 3rd and 3 into a 3rd and 8.
Well, whenever you're in a 3rd and long situation or passing situation, you think if anybody's going to go offside, it's going to be Wayne Gandy, who's playing that left tackle against Simeon Rice, who has 8 quarterback sacks already this season.
So they've got 3 wide receivers in on 3rd and 8. Need to get to the 32 for the first. Here's Brooks. Brought down. Football is out, and Simeon Rice fell on it. Was he down beforehand? There's no signal from the officials yet. They will say he was down. There's a penalty flag on the play as well. It'll be a false start against the Saints.
There is no play prior to the play. False start, 85. 5 yards, it's still third down.
That may be a lucky break for New Orleans.
Yeah, that was a lucky break. And it's just what I talked about a moment ago, Kurt. Simeon Rice working against Wayne Gandy comes up to the outside, and watch him work his hands and his body back to the inside. And Greg Spires does a good job too, coming from the opposite side, forcing Aaron Brooks to step back into Rice.
That's the old meet me at the quarterback. Remember, this was a 3rd and 3 before back-to-back false start penalties. Now they need 13 yards for a first. Here's Brooks. McAllister out of the backfield. He won't pick up 13. Rondé Barber right there along with Tim Wansley and a couple of other guys in red jerseys to force the Saints into a punting situation.
And that is a very difficult thing for any runner, even a guy as big as McAllister, to do against this Tampa Bay defense, is catch it out in open space with 3rd and 13, and to beat these guys who just rally so well to the football when they're playing with the kind of enthusiasm we certainly saw last week against the Dallas Cowboys.
Here's Mitch Berger set to punt. Carl Williams will let it go over his head and it goes into the end zone. That's too much by Berger. A punt of 41 yards, but they'll net only 21, as this one will come back out to the 20 for the Buccaneers' first possession on offense.
There we were planning our vacation online. That's when the pain started.
Digititis is a repetitive stress injury, just like carpal tunnel syndrome, except different. Basically, it feels like a fleshy fireball on the end of my hand.
We're seeing an explosion of this with all the double clicking that's going on. If we catch this early, we can help.
Searching for a great airfare online doesn't have to be a pain. Just go to southwest.com for our $39 to $99 internet specials when you purchase by November 13th.
You are now free to move about the country.
It was fast. We made it faster. It was smart. We made it smarter. Until it was as close to perfect as it's ever come. And that's saying something. Introducing the new, more powerful ES330.
NFL Sunday is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Friendly nonstop service all across the country. Southwest Airlines, a symbol of freedom.
Well, the Buccaneers will take over on offense for the first time. Ball on the 20, no score midway through the first quarter after a 9-play drive by the Saints. Netted nothing. Brad Johnson, second in the NFL in touchdown passes. Fourth highest quarterback rating, and completing 64% of his passes along the way.
And this is the 5th ranked passing offense in the National Football League. And the reason is this guy right here makes great decisions, and he's got an accurate arm.
And he completes that first pass to Keyshawn Johnson. And Keyshawn will pick up 6 yards on the play. We talked about this offensive line. It's all shuffle. Left tackle Roman Oben has a broken hand. He's inactive. Kenyatta Walker moves from right tackle to left tackle. Cornell Green active for the first time and starting at right tackle. Look for Michael Pittman today. He's coming off his best game of the season, 113 yards rushing in the victory over Dallas last week. And Bill Muir is the offensive coordinator, but John Gruden, the head coach, is the guy who calls all the plays.
Please.
Off the play fake to the air once again. There's Ken Gilger, and Gilger will pick up the first down with a gain of 5. Well, the Saints have had some injuries on their defensive front. Right now it's Whitehead, Smith, Sullivan, and Charles Grant, who is having an excellent season after finishing strong last year. In the linebacking crew, keep an eye on Darren Smith. He had vertigo and missed part of practice on Wednesday this week, but he is in there in the lineup. And Jay Bellamy, starting at strong safety, leads the team in tackles, and he's a guy the Buccaneers talk about is a big hitter in the run game. Rick Venturi there, the defensive coordinator for the New Orleans Saints. On first down, here comes the blitz. They pick it up. Michael Pittman runs through it. And Pittman will pick up 6 yards on the run. Jonathan Sullivan with the tackle.
And Michael Pittman is having a really fine season this year, Kurt. Last year he averaged 3.5 a carry. This year he's averaging 4.3 a carry. And you see how quickly he hits the hole. And if he hits the hole that way, then they can beat this New Orleans Saints blitz.
On second down, there's Pittman tripping up at the line of scrimmage. Falls forward for a gain of about a yard on the play.
Anyone that wanted to see the Tampa Bay offense and the confusing shifts hasn't been disappointed so far. They come out, they change their formations, they mix personnel around, and then just when you think that they're going to shift again on that second down play, Kurt, they went on a quick snap.
Third down situation, they need the 42 for the first. There's some jumping early.
False start, 71 offense, 5 yards, it's still third down.
And that's Kerry Jenkins, who is starting this week at left guard with all the changes they've got going on that offensive line.
And Kurt, penalties, we talked about the run defense being trouble for Tampa Bay, but penalties really killed them in their first 6 games. They were much better last week against the Dallas Cowboys, only 3 penalties for 15 yards. But prior to that, especially against the Carolina Panthers. Just penalties ruined this team.
Get me out of here.
So instead of 3rd and 2, it's now 3rd and 7. Saints coming on the blitz. Johnson under pressure. Caught and brought down for the sack. Darren Smith, vertigo and all.
I was going to say, didn't have any vertigo on that play.
And it made Brad Johnson have trouble staying vertical.
And Kurt, this is a scheme play. Watch where Darren Smith comes from the inside. He loops all the way to the outside where the Saints defense overloaded that side of the Tampa Bay's offensive line. Good coverage downfield too, because you saw Brad Johnson had plenty of time to find a receiver if one was open right away.
Tom Tupo on the punt. Michael Lewis, the deep man, the dangerous one, back for the Saints. Led the NFL in entire return yards, but this is a boomer by Tupo. Backs him all the way up to the 15-yard line. Lewis won't be able to get a good return after that 60-yard punt by Tupo. What a job. They get exactly what they want. No score in the first.
What you doing, Brian?
I'm just putting my name and address in these bottles and sending them out to sea. Hopefully someone will find them and contact me someday.
Wow.
Yeah, wow.
Why? Why do you torture me, Brian Henderson of 12 Maple Lane?
For the great taste that won't fill you up and never lets you down, make it a Bud Light.
Brian. Nice to meet you.
It silenced the skeptics. It defied the laws of physics. It tested the limits of human ingenuity. What will it do next? Introducing the new LS from Lexus.
Wednesday, Donna's going off to college, but Eric's staying behind. How will they ever say goodbye?
Now?
Love is in the air, and in the driveway, and on the couch.
If I had known what I was coming home to after my heart attack, I would have walked straight into that bright light and never looked back.
And only that 70s show. Then it's the strangest place on the planet.
I think I'd like the rest of this to go.
Okay. There, it's gone.
But is this wacko town ready for Norm Macdonald as mayor?
I'm challenging you to a debate.
The only thing I know about debate is that it goes on the end of the pole.
And all new Stan Hooper after that 70s show, starting at 8/7 Central, Fox Wednesday.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by Bud Light. For the great taste that won't fill you up and never lets you down, make it a Bud Light.
Well, for those of us that aren't wearing football pads and helmets, it's a gorgeous day. It's about 82 degrees at kickoff. Maybe a little bit warmer for those in uniform, but you know what? We get to enjoy it either way.
Beautiful day, grass field, great stadium.
A great place to watch football. Second possession by the Saints at the 26-yard line. There's Duce McAllister again, and he breaks through the hole. McAllister into the open field, cutting back with a block. Into Buccaneer territory, brought down finally at the 38-yard line by Tim Wansley, but that's only after a pickup of 37 by Duce.
Well, McAllister finds a little bit of a hole, Kurt, but watch him. He breaks the tackle right at the line of scrimmage, right there. Runs through one tackler, runs through another tackler, and now he's down into the third level.
Well, the Duce was certainly loose on that one. He has been the guy so far.
And he was loose because he busted loose. I mean, they had the tackles on.
Here's Brooks with time. Under pressure now. And just throws that one away, incomplete.
No,
Ryan Neese was coming hard.
Kurt, Duce McAllister in the first series only averaged 3.7 a carry. Now his average is way up, and Duce is the kind of runner who gets stronger as the game goes on. And I don't know if it's that he gets stronger as the game goes on so much as defenses start to get tired and Duce doesn't let down. So he starts at 3.5 to 4.4 to 4.6 and ends the game in the fourth quarter at 5.4. So if the Tampa Bay defense thinks it's going to get any easier bringing this guy down, it's probably not.
Well, he gets another carry and punches that one through the hole. And there's McAllister once again picking up 5 yards on the run before Simeon Rice made the tackle. And so far, McAllister has had 8 carries for 64 yards, so that's 8 a pop. You know, that puts a lot of pressure on you early. Forget the getting better as the game goes along. If that's the case, the Bucs had better be scared.
Well, again, if you think about a formula for beating the defending world champions, Kurt, it's certainly for the Carolina Panthers and the San Francisco 49ers was run the football right at their defensive line. Run it right at them quick.
Duce goes out to take a breather. Kajana Carter comes in to replace him, and Brooks will work from the shotgun. Leading the 27-yard line for the first. Ellis Wims has him around the waist. Brooks got rid of the football, so there'll be no sack, no flags, but it'll be another punting situation for this Saints offense.
I'll tell you, this is not good pocket awareness by Aaron Brooks, because he's got a lot of space to the left side where Gandy's got Simeon Rice pinned down, but he starts to scramble to his right side, and Wims is right there. That's just one of those things where Aaron Brooks just has to sense it. He's got to sense a lot of pressure from the right side and feel that space with your sixth sense to the left.
No, they're not going to punt it. It'll be a 52-yard field goal attempt. They're faking it. Mitch Berger throws it back over the middle of the field. It falls incomplete. Well, that's why you had to be surprised that they would try and go for this. Carney now in his 14th year, as long as 50 yards, trying it from 52. The Bucs were not surprised. So a failed fake field goal attempt keeps it scoreless with 3 minutes left to go in the first.
Is it a marvel of engineering? A triumph of technology? Or a new benchmark of design? Yes. Introducing the new LS from Lexus.
You know, some interesting facts about Delaware, guys. It was the first state to ratify the Constitution. Thank you, forefathers. Man, am I glad we wrote that thing up. Each article, I mean, we'll cover all the articles, but North Carolina. Horse population of 220,000. A lot of hoofs too, almost 1 million. A lot of hay. You know, what is hay exactly? Is it wheat? I dated a girl named Georgia. Had to break
For when you need it most, our longest lasting Energizer Max ever.
After that, I told myself,
do you have the bunny inside?
I am not dating girls named after states.
Today, more than 250,000 doctors and 75 million patients are redefining modern medicine with WebMD. Practices can attend to the business of medicine with new speed and efficiency. Doctors can continue their medical education without leaving their offices. Patients can monitor their own progress. In countless ways, WebMD is helping doctors and patients to reconnect, and in the process, helping to redefine modern medicine. WebMD, modern medicine.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by your Lexus dealer and the new 2004 LS, the ultimate expression of their passionate pursuit. By long-lasting Energizer, do you have the bunny inside? By MasterCard, there are some things money can't buy. For everything else, there's MasterCard. And by Wachovia, together we can achieve uncommon things.
All right, Helmet.
Buccaneers beginning their second possession at the 34-yard line. Here's Brad Johnson. Across the middle, that's the second catch by Keyshawn Johnson. We need to catch up with JB for a game break.
Hey, Kurt and Tim, I know you know all too well Chad Pennington's first start against a team that gave him the injury. What does he do? He guides him 11 plays, 60 yards, hooking up with Santana Moss. Fourth straight touchdown game, that is, with a touchdown. They're up by 7. And then Carolina on its opening drive, Delhomme hooking up with Steve Smith, looking excellent as their #1 receiver. They lead it 7-0 as well. Back to Kurt. Hey, Tim, I wish I could be that versatile with my hair and look as good as you. Back to you guys.
Thanks, JB. Hey, JB, you couldn't have been more right in your comments about owner Arthur Blank and his class and his dignity and his inevitable success that he'll have in the National Football League.
Buccaneers call a timeout. We'll take one, too. 2:32 to go here in the first quarter at Tampa.
millions of miles of voice and data lines out there. Who maintains all that? Well, in a large part of this country, SBC does. Why SBC? Seemed only right since we built it in the first place. Whatever it takes, period. SBC. Going beyond the call.
Sometimes in the face of insurmountable odds, unlikely heroes are born. As precious seconds ticked away, you took an impossible amount of data and turned it into something impossibly good. You have the new Microsoft Office system. Victory is yours.
As a United Way volunteer, Darren Howard helps out in a drama program that lets kids express themselves.
And action.
Badges? We don't need any stinking badges. Romeo, Romeo, where art thou, Romeo?
It doesn't matter that he's a famous NFL player.
Wax on.
What matters to the kids is that they feel good about who they are.
There ain't nobody else around here, so you must be talking to me.
Now, that was a good one.
I'm the king of the world!
You don't have to be Darren Howard to make a difference in your community.
Fox Wednesday.
My wife's company is the plaintiff.
It's her father's company.
Will a new case tear their family apart?
If your marriage can't survive this, what kind of marriage is it?
And don't miss The First Kiss. The OC, all new at 9/8 Central, Fox Wednesday.
Keyshawn Johnson had 2 catches the last 2 weeks total, Tim. Today he's got that before we're done with the first.
Right, and the rift between Keyshawn, or the supposed rift between Keyshawn and Gruden, has made headlines here in Tampa Bay this week. And it's as if John Gruden is trying to emphasize what he said to us. Hey, there is no problem. We're just going to win football games.
Johnson in motion on second down. Brad Johnson going up for Keyshawn and makes the catch. Third catch of the game for Keyshawn Johnson, and it's good for 24 yards.
And what a spectacular catch. It didn't Roman Oben tell you that he had a dream last night that Keyshawn Johnson was going to catch 9 balls?
9 catches for 150 yards is what Roman Oben said his dream told him.
I mean, that's a heck of a prophecy, and that's a dream-like catch that Keyshawn Johnson makes right there.
Well, he's halfway there in catches. He's got 3 for this game for 37 yards. So he's a third of the way there. First down at the 35. Michael Pittman. Pittman dances up for 2 yards on the play. Kenny Smith on the tackle.
You know, Kurt, we've talked about Tampa Bay defense's struggles from time to time stopping the run this season, and the Saints have really struggled stopping the run. They've had some injuries up front to some of their big guys. Grady Jackson is serving a 1-game suspension, and so they've been a little thin, and they've missed some assignments up front. And especially in the last 4 games, they've been giving up almost 170 yards a game.
What's ironic is their rushing numbers have ballooned over the last 4 weeks, but their scoring totals on defense have been cut in half almost. There's a penalty marker on the play.
False start, 32 offense, 5 yards. It's still second down.
That's on the running back, Michael Pittman. But talking about those Saints defensive numbers, the first 4 weeks they were giving up 30 points a game. The last 4, they're giving up only 18.
Right, so figure, right?
Yeah, I guess, hey, when you run it...
It's like Orlando Ruff said to us yesterday, right? He said, well, you can do anything you want with numbers, make them say anything. But, Kurt, I talked about penalties and how much it's affected Tampa Bay, especially in their first 7 games. Most penalty yards per game in the National Football League. It looked like they had it corrected last week with their 3 penalties, only 3 for 15 yards against Dallas, but today they look like they're back at it. 2 for 10 so far in the first quarter.
Brings up a 2nd and long. Aaron Stecker, the receiver, fell down on that one. He was open in his battle with the linebacker Derek Rogers, but the turf monster got it.
I thought Derek Rogers actually had pretty decent coverage on it. But you see Brad Johnson, again, spreading the football around. For Keyshawn to have 3 catches so far is unusual. For any receiver to have 3 catches in the first quarter is unusual, because this offense is based upon spreading the ball around. So the defense never knows who the ball is going to.
On 3rd down, Johnson overthrows Keenan McCardell. He's the nearest receiver. That one will drop incomplete.
That was just one of those timing patterns where the timing was off. Because Brad Johnson has to throw that football before McCardell ever makes his break.
So Tom Tuple, who had a 60-yard punt his first time up, will come on. And Tim, I guarantee you he won't kick it 60 again.
If he does, it'll be in the stands.
Ball on the 39-yard line as they snap it back to him. Michael Lewis lined up at his 8. The Pooch kick. And that'll roll inside the 10-yard line. Stopped beautifully by Charles Lee. And it'll be spotted right at the 2-yard line. Excellent job by the special teams unit for the Bucs.
Let's see, I bought yellow pencils, yellow post-it notes, yellow boxers. Yellow boxers.
$14.
Land courier, air courier, pedicure, reader.
$137.
2 printers, 2 scanners, 2 tutus.
$540. Keeping business expenses separate from personal expenses? Priceless. There are some things money can't buy. For everything else, there's MasterCard. Apply online for the MasterCard Business Card.
Ah, Guido, come hanno ragione. E viva Jacqueline che ci ha indicato la via della liberazione. Abbassi il tiranno, abbassa Barba Blu.
What can a foreign film teach us about capital markets? It helps to speak the language. At Wachovia Securities, we learn from the world around us. Because uncommon challenges call for uncommon wisdom. Wachovia Securities, corporate and investment banking.
Hey, Coach, anything?
Nothing. Well, after this play by Charles Lee, the ball spotted at the 4-yard line for now, but you see Lee went out of bounds, came back in, and saved that punt by Tupa from going into the end zone.
That the first player to touch the ball went out of bounds and came back in. We will review that play as to whether or not the gunner was the first to touch the ball after being out of bounds.
And that's a smart challenge by the New Orleans Saints because they'll win this one. As you saw, Lee was out of bounds, and you can't be the first one to touch the ball after going out of bounds when you come back in.
It's short 2. Set go. Red. Watch to yo. Red. Watch the ball. You were gonna block.
Man, I thought you were gonna run.
Ain't no mountain high enough, ain't no valley low enough, ain't no river wide enough to keep me from you. And if you need me, call me, no matter where you are, no matter how far. Just call my name and I'll be there in a hurry. On that you can depend, never worry. Ain't no mountain high enough, nothing can keep me from you. Ain't no mountain high enough.
New Orleans Saints challenging whether Charles Lee went out of bounds on his own accord. Now, they changed the rule this year where if he's blocked out of bounds, he can come back in and be the first player to touch. But I think the officials are going to review it and see that Lee, in fact, was not blocked out of bounds. He stepped out of bounds on his own. And you would guess, Kurt, that this is going to be ruled a touchback.
After reviewing the play, number 88 went out of bounds and came back in and was the first to touch. That's illegal touching on the kickers. 5-yard penalty and replay, 4th down. The ball is on the 38-yard line. 4th and 13. We will penalize 5 yards from there.
And there you see, they'll bring this one back. Tom Tupa will re-punt it because the ball never went into the end zone. So the ball was stopped right there by him downing it. It's a 5-yard penalty from the original line of scrimmage. And so now it'll be another punting situation for Tupa. And Charles Lee will try and do the same thing by staying inbounds this time. And so a good special teams play made by Lee was shown to be not that good because he stepped out of bounds a little bit early. And the surprising thing is he really didn't get bumped out. That's just a matter of field awareness and knowing where you are. Had he stayed in bounds, this ball would be at the 4-yard line right now with the Saints taking over. Instead, they'll get another chance with a dangerous return man and Michael Lewis having a shot at it. Tupa pooches that one. Lewis calls for the fair catch and makes it at the 4.
What was that about?
I don't understand that either.
That was awful.
Here's a guy who's been to the Pro Bowl. Bad decision made by Lewis, and they still get it in the same spot after all that. Well, coming up next is the second half of our Fox NFL Sunday doubleheader. Most of you will see the Redskins taking on the Cowboys in an NFC East showdown, or the Rams battle the rival 49ers, plus the Eagles take on the Falcons. It's all coming up next, right here on Fox.
And Kurt, the rule on a punt return is you stand on the 10-yard line and you signal fair catch to try to draw the defenders away. Lewis is on the 5 and he catches it. When the rule, even when you're on the 10, the rule is if it goes over your head, you let it go and hope it bounces into the end zone. And
Tim Haslett can't believe he caught that, especially for a guy who's been to the Pro Bowl. But in his defense, he has missed 2 games this year with a groin injury. Just came back last week. Maybe, I'm just trying to say maybe, I don't know.
I don't know.
Maybe he's still on vacation.
If he had a head injury, I could say maybe that was the reason.
Here's Brooks, deep in his own territory. Joe Horn, his first catch of the day. He's going to be right near that first down marker. Tim Wansley with the tackle.
You just saw on that play, Kurt, why Joe Horn is so key for the Saints passing team. Wansley had great tight coverage, but Horn makes the reception for the first down anyway.
And that'll be the last play of this first quarter from Tampa. No score, Saints and Bucs. Fox NFL Sunday will continue after this.
Thanks for taking care of them today.
Let's go. Hut.
The 2004 Jetta. New look, same get up and go.
I don't know how he does it.
You're watching the NFL on Fox.
Don't you just love this time of year?
Yeah. With the Craftsman 4-in-1 Plus Yard Vac, your weekend project looks a whole lot better. Because you've got a vacuum, a chipper, a blower, and a shredder, all in one hungry yard clearing machine. And it's only at Sears. The 4-in-1 Plus really has some muscle. This 6-horsepower Briggs & Stratton engine makes quick work of yard work. Anything from branches and leaves to pine cones and acorns. There's even an onboard vacuum hose that'll clear your flower bed of everything but your flowers. Mulches everything so fine, 8 bags become 1. means more time to just appreciate things. The Craftsman 4-in-1 Plus Yard Vac, just $499.99. Another great idea from Sears. Craftsman has the right tool for every project. America's #1 tool brand at America's best tool store. Craftsman at Sears.
On Joe Millionaire, he went to Italy to find the woman of his dreams. Now he'll be lucky
I like money, of course. I'm not gonna lie.
if he gets out alive.
Are you grabbing my leg?
The next Joe Millionaire
Don't get mad. Get everything.
at 8 tomorrow on Fox.
Oh, I'm telling you, even the next Joe Millionaire couldn't get a ticket to this one. This place sold out for the 47th straight time. Every game in the history of Raymond James Stadium, a full house, and why not?
Defending world champions,
They're
right?
seeing a good game so far. No score. Both defenses holding up through that first quarter.
Yeah, both defenses holding up, but really it's been the Saints offense that has had the most success until they push down and get close to the red zone, and then that Tampa Bay pass rush has been able to get some pressure on Aaron Brooks and stop him.
Well, right now, the Buccaneers on defense. After the 10-yard pickup by Joe Horn, it's a first down for the Saints. Ball right on the 14-yard line. Horn in motion. Low snap, they hand it off to Duce McAllister. Tim Wansley.
What a beautiful play by Wansley.
Dropped him for a loss of a yard. He didn't go anywhere, saw that one before it happened almost.
I mean, he first has to elude Kendall Jaycox, who's about twice his size. Watch Jaycox. He's going to come out here and pull and try to get the block on Wansley. Wansley just dips underneath him and then makes the tackle on McAllister. I think Duce was already looking to the second and third levels. He did not expect Wansley to get past Kendall Jaycox.
Wansley making just his second pro start. 7th round draft pick last year out of the University of Georgia. Brooks. That's to McAllister out of the backfield, and he's going nowhere. Well, this time he picks up 6 yards, but no run after the catch. And unlike the first 2 series where we saw McAllister getting free, getting chances, it looks like the Bucs are keying on him a little bit more this time.
Well, everyone knows that if you cover the receivers downfield, Aaron Brooks wants to get it to Duce McAllister. And the coverage downfield, Kurt, came from this Tampa 2 being 2 safeties, so they've got help. Each cornerback has got help. And they had great coverage on there, and that's why Aaron Brooks had to look underneath to McAllister.
Saints need the 24 on 3rd down. Brooks running. Makes a move and gets the first down. Rondé Barber thought he had him probably about 2 yards shy of the first, but he got past him, picked up the first down on a 15-yard run.
What a move by Aaron Brooks on Rondé Barber, wasn't it? Again, the coverage downfield was outstanding. We've got the Tampa Bay secondary. This time Aaron Brooks sees it. Instead of, you could see Duce McAllister in the picture. Instead of dumping it off, Brooks uses his own legs to pick up the first down. Well, I think people sometimes forget how good Aaron Brooks can be when he pulls the ball down and scrambles.
I think Aaron Brooks forgets it sometimes.
I agree.
Says Jim Haslett has to remind him it's okay to run. Here's Brooks through the hands of Jerome Pathon, incomplete. Well, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the formula for beating them has been run the football and run it early. And so far we've seen the Saints do just that. Right now, the Saints rushing the ball have 78 yards on the ground. And you can see through the first half in their 3 losses, that's been about the average, 73 officially.
In a whole half, and then look at the average yards per carry, 6.1 in their 3 losses. Right now, the Saints averaging 7.8.
Hand it off again, Duce McAllister. Brought down by Nate Webster, and McAllister will pick up 4 more yards on the run.
Really, when you think about it, Kurt, it's amazing that you can run up the gut against this Tampa Bay defense, because you've got Anthony McFarland in there, who's a tremendous athlete. You've got Warren Sapp, who's powerful and quick, and you've got Spires, who plays so well. You've got Derek Brooks in the middle, one of the best tackling linebackers in the National Football League. So it almost goes against common sense that you can run up the center of this defense.
On 3rd down, they've got their nickel package in. Extra defensive back. Joe Horn had a chance to catch the first down, but he flat out messed the football. So instead of the first, it'll be a punting situation once again for the Saints. That was an opportunity Horn couldn't convert, and maybe the missed practice time catching up with him right there.
You know what, Kurt? That was really a low thrown ball. That would have been a difficult one for Joe Horn to catch. Watch him here. The ball comes back to the inside, and he's got to get his hands right down on the grass to try to catch that one.
Here's Mitch Berger for the punt. High arcing kick. Backs Carl Williams up to the 10. 13 yards on the return after a punt of 52. It's been a punt fest so far. Defense is in charge.
This beer has 1/3 less carbs than Coors Light. This beer is the gold medal winner of the World Beer Cup. Amazingly, they're the same beer. Miller Lite. Great taste, less filling.
Taco Bell's Zesty Chicken Bowl. Grilled all white meat chicken, seasoned rice, cheese, lettuce, and Fiesta salsa. Made right when you order it. For a fresh taste that's hard to top. Show off. For fresh made taste, think outside the bun.
Beautiful. Why did Car and Driver name it Best Luxury SUV for 2003? Well, there's this. 4X Motion all-wheel drive.
Beautiful.
Touareg, the Volkswagen that does what other Volkswagens don't.
It strikes only once a year. Fox tonight, the fear will be here. I am death.
We don't want any.
The all-new Simpsons Treehouse of Horror.
Finally!
This is more violent than the Hip Hop Awards.
It's the most mind-bending, gut-wrenching, spine-tingling chase with death you've ever seen. All-new Simpsons Treehouse of Horror. Part of a full hour. Tonight at 8, 7 Central on Fox Laugh Out Loud Sunday.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by Volkswagen. On the road of life, there are passengers and there are drivers. By KFC, there's fast food, then there's KFC. By Visa, if you love the NFL, it's everywhere you want to be. And by Miller Lite. Grab yourself a great-tasting, low-carb Miller Lite.
Well, Kurt, it's been a little quiet for the pirate ship. The most cannon fire I've heard has been the Master and Commander promos. Captain Ron looking a little bored. There's his cannon, whatever you call it.
His cannon launcher?
His launcher there.
Here on first down, Michael Pittman hit hard right at the 25-yard line. He'll pick up only 2 yards. Henry Ford launched himself at it.
Of course, the only time after introductions that they fire those cannons are when the Bucs offense gets in the red zone, which they haven't done, and when the Bucs score, which they haven't done.
So in this case, 1 out of 3 is bad.
Yeah.
Bucs not in the red zone, not on the scoreboard either.
He looks like he's got itchy fingers. He just wants to bump those buttons there.
Johnson. Dropped by Keyshawn Johnson. That's the first time we've seen him do that. He's caught 3 balls already in this game. And, you know, Keyshawn Johnson, we talked about the controversy, and I think a lot of it really has to do with the absence of Joe Jaravicious. You look at his production the first 2 weeks with Jaravicious here, he's averaging 7 catches a game. Since then, it's down to 4 and only 1 the last 2.
The other part of it too, Kurt, is Keyshawn Johnson's been injured. I mean, there were a couple games where he was barely getting out there because of the injured quadriceps. But then it was his agent who allegedly went to John Gruden and said he needs to get more balls.
On third down, they need the 32. Ball tipped at the line of scrimmage, and it's intercepted. Victor Green. Make it Ashley Ambrose, actually. Ashley Ambrose comes in as the nickel corner and gets the interception, something the Saints haven't done at all this season. And that's just their 4th INT of the year.
This interception goes to Charles Grant, who tipped that ball at the line of scrimmage.
Drive a sports car like no other. The all-new Mazda RX-8.
Hey, Ricky, Bill from down the block. Saw your dog got out. Anyway, I chased him about a block down. Took a header into a thorn bush. You know what? I'm scratched up, but okay. Don't worry about me. The dog is what's important.
I don't have a dog.
Whoops.
If you really want tickets to the game, just use your Visa. It's the card you know they'll take everywhere you want to be. Visa, proud sponsor of the NFL.
On the road and stuck trying to get business email in all the wrong places? Get Verizon Wireless Remote Email Access. Stay productive and in touch when you're away from the office.
Can you hear me now? Good.
Now ask how you can save up to $200 on select wireless PDAs and BlackBerry devices.
Verizon Wireless. We never stop working for you.
Fox Tuesday. First, catch an encore presentation of the season premiere of 24. Then, on an all-new episode, a nation's greatest disaster.
Someone's threatening to release a virus.
A man's weakest moment.
I am not going on record with this addiction.
The crisis is just beginning. 24, 2 full hours. It all starts at 8/7 Central, Fox Tuesday.
Ashley Ambrose thanking the big fella, Charles Grant, for helping him out with the pick.
Well, Kurt, we talked about the shuffled and injured Tampa Bay offensive line, and really on this play, the protection is almost too good. Watch John Wade right here. He's got Charles Grant stopped at the line of scrimmage with no hope of getting to Brad Johnson. So Grant just gathers up, waits for the pass, and bats it.
Saints will start with excellent field position at the 38. Brooks going towards the end zone. Michael Lewis makes the catch into the end zone for the touchdown.
Well, Kurt, big plays on offense was the way the New Orleans Saints beat this team 2 times last year. They had 6 big plays in the first game and 5 in the second. And this is the second big play they've had today after the Duce McAllister 37-yard run.
Michael Lewis, with just his 3rd catch of the year because of that groin injury, comes up big with his first touchdown. And the Saints take the interception and turn it into points. John Carney on for the extra point. And a one-time Buccaneer makes it a 7-0 lead. New Orleans defense helping out the offense, and they take the lead in Tampa.
Dan, Bubs replaces your picture phone with dynamite and your head blows clean off. You do have an extra head, don't you, boy? No, this is...
Props! It's my commercial. It's my phone. It's mine. What's the matter, friend? Your phone don't take pictures. Uh-oh. Smile, Debbie.
So who should we send it to?
Stop the press it.
Picture mail from Sprint. Now at Sprint stores. Get a PCS Vision picture phone for $99.99.
Ow!
I've got to have this for Saturday night. What's Saturday?
This is awesome!
You might want to check out these speakers too. They're shorter. Shorter is good, man. Yeah.
Thousands of possibilities. Get yours. Best Buy.
Introducing the all-new rotary-powered Mazda RX-8.
Jack?
The way you feel about sports cars will never be the same.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by Mazda. There's a soul of a sports car in everything we make.
Bucs linebacker Shelton Quarles beaten by Michael Lewis, but it's a mismatch. When you have the cover 2, the focus out here, here's your cover 2, the 2 safeties. The weakness of that defense is right up the seam, and that's where Michael Lewis runs. He runs up the seam, and Shelton Quarles, a linebacker, has to end up running step for step with a wide receiver, Michael Lewis, and he just does not have the speed.
Talk about a scoring drive. It's pretty simple to do that one. One play, 38 yards in 9 seconds, taking advantage of the interception. John Carney with a low kick. Aaron Stecker catches the line drive at the 8. Stecker plowing through guys out to the 30-yard line. Victor Green on the tackle there, but the Saints have drawn first blood here in Tampa.
It's simple, really. If we could get everybody in the country to drive the all-new Chevy Malibu, we think you'd agree. It's just about perfect.
Sometimes you need a little help staying in the game. Introducing new Levitra. It's a new choice. And it's here now. Ask your doctor if a free sample is right for you. Ask about new Levitra.
Come in now for TGI Fridays double glazed ribs. They're basted with our rich Tennessee glaze, then finished with Friday's tangy barbecue sauce. Tear into double glazed ribs. Only at Fridays.
Boys! 1, 2, 3.
Keep it down. She's nursing the baby.
Do you guys want to go out on a date with?
Oh my God. I bet it has a toilet. Dibs.
I will be delicious for you.
Shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it like a
You know the drill. Mommy never knows.
The new season of Malcolm in the Middle tonight at 9, 8 Central. Fox Laugh Out Loud Sunday.
Let me some sugar.
Saints defensive end Charles Grant got the tip that led to the interception that led to the touchdown. And he told us yesterday that if you get a lead on this Buccaneer team, he doesn't believe they can come back. Right now, they've got a lead.
Well, he's a young player, but he's an old school guy. He studies the old school pass rushers like Lawrence Taylor, and he said that Reggie guy.
That Reggie, the guy in Green Bay.
Reggie White.
Yeah. Reggie White, the all-time sack leader. In the direction of Keyshawn Johnson, falls incomplete. And you know, Charles Grant has really come on. This is his second year. He's got 6 sacks, but he's got 11 in his last 13 games. #1 draft pick out of Georgia last year, and he's turned into the player they thought he would be.
And I thought it was interesting talking to him how he says he watches an offensive lineman. He sees what has beaten that guy before. What defensive linemen have beaten him with what moves, and then he emulates them and uses those moves that they've had trouble with.
Michael Pittman with a hard run through the line of scrimmage, and Pittman will pick up 6 yards. Tabaki Jones on the tackle.
Brought down by number 34, Tabaki Jones.
Really, one thing that's surprising so far is the Saints defense has done a pretty good job in limiting Tampa Bay's runs. Now, they haven't run the ball a lot, but Pittman only averaged about 3.5 yards a carry right now. Again, this is a squad that has struggled severely in the last 4 weeks in stopping anybody from running the football.
Brad Johnson was 4 for his first 4. He's now missed his last 5. And right now they need the 44 first down. He's missed his last 6 as that one goes through the hands of Michael Pittman.
And I think Willie Whitehead might have even gotten a hand on that ball to keep it from being caught by Michael Pittman.
Well, that's the first 3 and out by the Bucs, but their offense seems to be going downhill right now.
Yeah, nothing working. Watch Willie Whitehead, though, Kurt. He works off Cornell Green, and I think he got a hand on that football.
So Tom Tupo on to punt again. Michael Lewis standing back there at his 22-yard line. Another low line drive. And this one will roll out of bounds. See where they spot it. It's going to be spotted right at the 21-yard line, so 43 yards on the punt. In a game that the Saints lead 7-0 thanks to a key defensive turnover that set up a play at the 38-yard line. One play and in for the touchdown pass to Michael Lewis, and right now, with 9:50 to go here in the first half, it's been the Saints defense kind of outshining this Buccaneer offense, which came in ranked 6th in the league, and talking about how proficient they had become, and talking to defensive coordinator Rick Venturi of the Saints before the game, he says, hey, this is a unit that scares you now. Before, the Buccaneers, you used to just, not worry about them on offense because their defense was the story, but now you have to worry about them on offense. But the Saints have done a good job of containing them and giving their offense opportunities. First down at the 21 for New Orleans. Brooks under pressure, sacked. Simeon Rice was the first guy to get there, but Anthony McFarland joined the party. Let's get it out to Los Angeles and JB for a game break.
Hey, Kurt and Tim, you guys know this is the first meeting between the Giants and Jets since '99. Well, the Giants finally take the lead as Kerry Collins hooks up with Amani Toomer on a takeoff pattern. Only the 3rd touchdown of the season this year for Toomer, but the Giants lead it 10-7. Back to Kurt and Tim. You know what? I agree with you as well about Mr. Blank.
Well, a little love fest going on between you guys long distance.
I think JB felt a little bad after the comment about my hair.
I feel like the 3rd wheel in the backseat of a date, You guys are just loving each other, and I'm just standing here watching. Here on 2nd down, Brooks out of the shotgun. Under pressure again. Warren Sapp was coming right at him. There's a penalty flag on the play. Sapp came in untouched right up the middle.
Holding, 68 offense, penalties decline, 3rd down.
And speaking of numbers 68, that penalty on Victor Riley, but the sack by the Buccaneers with their 68th consecutive game with one, which ties an NFL record that the Dallas Cowboys set from 1976 to 1980. Right now, the crowd getting loud on 3rd and long. They have to get it all the way to the 31 for the first. They decide to just run it up the middle. McAllister just trying to pick up a couple of yards to help out the punt. Greg Spires on the tackle, but we talked about that Saints defense right before this series, and I guess the Buccaneers say, hey, what about us?
The thing that surprised me about this series for the Saints, Kurt, is the Saints have had tremendous success running the football against this defense. 81 yards already in this game. Duce McAllister has been very tough for them to stop, yet they come out, they're pinned back, and on 1st down, they try to throw the football. I don't understand that.
Here's Mitch Berger with the punt. Tim Wansley backed up to 34-yard line. Wansley will be brought down at the 41 by Fred McAfee. Well, as soon as we're done, we got the second half of our doubleheader, and it's a great matchup.
Kurt, that was the one I always got to stay up for on Monday night.
Cowboys and Redskins?
Yeah, that was the one where I didn't have to go to bed even if we had school the next day to watch the Cowboys-Redskins football.
Michael Pittman on 1st down, pushing the pile, picks up 4 yards on the play. Jay Bellamy, the first guy to get there, but several other Saints along with Derek Rogers and a host of others making the tackle.
And I'm not surprised right now with the field position that Tampa Bay has to see them come out, give the ball to Michael Pittman, try to reestablish the run. Brad Johnson struggling a little bit with the passing game right now. I think they should take advantage of the fact that the Saints have not been good against the run and just send them a steady dose of Michael Pittman.
Well, you see the struggles of Brad Johnson on 2nd down. Keyshawn Johnson in motion. That one completed out to Aaron Stecker. And Stecker will be about 1.5 yards shy of the 1st down, brought down by Fred Thomas. So that snaps that over streak that Brad Johnson was riding.
Right, and you could see that he went to Stecker was either his 2nd or his 3rd choice. He was scanning the middle of the field. I think probably Kurt, looking for Keyshawn Johnson, because Johnson has been the best thing about this offense so far with 3 catches for 37 yards.
Oh, he's standing on the sideline on 3rd and short. Michael Pittman gets the first down. Looks like it.
I don't know.
We'll see. He got right there to that line of scrimmage and looked like he had it, but Derek Rogers forced him backwards. This will all depend on the spot, and unless they get it right to the 49 of Tampa Bay, he won't have it.
Whether he makes it or doesn't make it, it's going to be extremely close. Derek Rogers, nice job getting right through. Look at that. They didn't get it, Kurt, I don't think.
Oh,
it's about as close as I've ever seen.
Without getting it.
That's a half a link.
And Brad Johnson is going, the nose of the football's there, we got it. And he just got it. Well, see, you convinced the officials long enough that
I don't know.
A piece of the football was touching it.
Depends on which way you leaned the pole.
Well, it's good enough for Tampa Bay, first down. Maybe Brad Johnson should be a lawyer after this.
Well, that was close, though, wasn't it?
Was able to convince the officials that his case was the right.
Well, Jim has seen some officiating go against him officially last week in their loss to Carolina.
Here's Pittman, stutter steps, cuts it back, and Pittman will pick up about 2 yards on the play. Willie Whitehead on the tackle.
Kurt, I talked earlier about Brad Johnson and what he brings to this offense and the 5th-rated passing offense in the National Football League. People are always looking for statistics on quarterbacks, and this one really impresses me. And I think it says everything about Brad Johnson. When you look at winning percentage among active quarterbacks, this is the company he keeps with Warner, Favre, McNabb, and McNair.
And that's in his career. Minnesota, Washington, and here. Zips that one into Keyshawn Johnson. He gets down to the 31 of the Saints. Darren Smith and Bucky Jones with a tackle after a 16-yard pickup by Keyshawn.
And this Keyshawn Johnson thing is working, right? I mean,
well, we got to talk to Roman Oben. He said 9 catches, 150 yards.
That is amazing to me that he told you that this morning. That he had that dream last night. And you see again, I don't know if Keyshawn was the first option. Brad Johnson looking to his right. But when he comes back and looks to his left, Keyshawn did a nice job of splitting the zone.
And so far, 4 catches for 53. And there's Oben, who's not playing today with that broken hand. Maybe he'll get into the fortune-telling business if he keeps this up. First down at the 31. Underneath, that's Michael Pittman. Cuts it back. Lost the football, and it falls right into the hands of Derek Rogers. Talk about being at the right place at the right time. Pittman fighting for an extra yard and had that ball pop out on him.
You know what, though, Kurt? It didn't just pop out. You talked about Jay Bellamy at the beginning of this game and what a big hitter he is. And watch Jay Bellamy, number 20, come into the screen. He gets his helmet right down and his shoulder right through Michael Pittman. And this is a case of Michael Pittman, and he used to do this all the time earlier in his career where he's trying to do too much.
When he was with Arizona, that was the knock against Michael Pittman, that he was a hard runner, but he would cough up the ball trying to get the extra yard or two, and in this case, it caught him. A turnover gives the Saints the ball at the 21-yard line. They took the last turnover and scored a touchdown off of it.
Now you got to believe the Saints are just going to send Duce right at this defense.
I got it.
Here's Brooks. Over the middle, Ernie Conwell doesn't catch it. It falls incomplete.
Oh, yeah. That ball also was thrown a little bit low by Aaron Brooks.
Well, Brooks statistically is having one of his better seasons as far as completion percentage, quarterback ratings. I mean, his quarterback rating's 10 points higher than it's ever been. His completion percentage, 7% higher than it's ever been. And he's a guy who's coming off a shoulder injury that a lot of people thought affected him at the end of last season. It seems to have bounced back, particularly over the last 3 weeks. They hand it off to Duce McAllister, and he won't get far. McAllister picks up about 3 yards on the run. Ryan Neese with the tackle.
And that didn't look like it fooled Tampa Bay's defense at all. The linebackers across the board were playing the run. They were looking for the draw, even though it was 2nd and 10.
So it brings up another 3rd and long situation for this Saints offense.
Saints offense was.
Go ahead. No, you go ahead.
We're like the chipmunks up here. This Saints offense was #1 on 3rd down conversions coming into this game. Now, what were you going to say?
I was going to say they need the 31-yard line. Under pressure, Brooks throws it too high. Joe Horn can't get it, and it falls incomplete. But once again, credit the pressure being brought by Derek Brooks for forcing him to throw that pass too high.
Here comes Derek Brooks from the outside, and Kurt, no one even blocks Derek Brooks. Here's Joe Horn. That's one Joe Horn normally you would expect him to catch. And now maybe that one was the effect of not having practiced all week.
Carl Williams. And Williams gets it back out to the 46-yard line. 3:44 left to go in the first half. Saints up by a touchdown.
See the sexiest man alive like you've never seen him before.
Dang straight, baby. Dang old hopeless romantic.
Brad Pitt in the season premiere of King of the Hill on Laugh Out Loud Sunday tonight.
Hot.
Now the Tampa Bay Buccaneers struggling on offense so far in this ball game. Saints on top 7-0, taking advantage of an interception, and one play later turning it into a touchdown pass to Michael Lewis. So far, that's all we've had from these two offenses, as the defenses have stifled them, or the offenses have struggled, whichever perspective you like. And of course, Tim, being a defensive lineman, I'm sure you're going with the defenses are stifling.
Absolutely. Defenses, especially Tampa Bay's defense on these last 2 possessions, has really given Brad Johnson and this offense excellent field position.
From the 46, play fake. And he overthrows Ken Dilger, incomplete. Johnson continues to struggle.
Just off accuracy by both quarterbacks, Kurt, has not been what you expect from both of them, because they typically are accurate passers. And right now, neither of them has any kind of rhythm at all. And neither team seems willing to stick with or make that total commitment to the run game.
So after the incompletion, it's 2nd and 10. 3 wide receivers in for the Bucs.
If anything, you got to expect he's going to look for Keyshawn, because that's been the number.
Well, they pitch it to Michael Pittman instead, and the Saints have that one sniffed out. Pittman will pick up about 3 yards on the play. And you know what, Tim? So far, this is not what the Buccaneers and their staff thought would happen this week. Each week on their website, they do a little cartoon about the upcoming opponent. This week, with the Saints being the opponent, they had a pretty entertaining one that they thought that maybe they would be able to scare this New Orleans Saints team into submission, but so far that hasn't happened.
I think if anything, the Saints, a lot of people expected the Saints to be really flat because of that dramatic loss to the Carolina Panthers in overtime last week in New Orleans.
Buccaneers need the 44 for the first. Johnson got rid of it. Keyshawn Johnson with the catch, and that's good enough for a first down at the 39-yard line. Well, we talked about that Buccaneer website cartoon. Here's a look at it.
You think you're scared now? Yeah, wait till Sunday.
Oh, the Fright Night hasn't happened just yet, with the Saints owning a 7-0 lead, but entertaining it is. Keyshawn Johnson, by the way, a little slow getting up after making the catch.
That's the thing that would scare me right now, because really, Keyshawn Johnson, with his 5 catches, 64 yards, has been the best thing about this Tampa Bay offense so far today. I think the other thing about the play we just saw, Kurt, was Brad Johnson knowing that he was going to get hit, having that sense that a defensive end was coming full speed from his blind side, but he really has always done a great job of standing in there and taking the shot and getting the pass off.
Here's the shot to Keyshawn. Got his head and neck kind of twisted up right there by Fakir Brown while he made the tackle. You see him trying to shake it off. Of course, they're missing John Lynch with a neck stinger and Mike Onside to a neck injury.
On this ship, something terrible is about to happen.
Those police boats?
Securities and Exchange Commission.
They have boats?
The SEC is making him out to be some kind of mastermind. The man can barely work our shredder.
Meet a family that's lost everything, and the one son's sane enough to pull him through.
We're back on track, and we're focused. And Buster, you can't do that in the snack room, pal.
Mom told me to stay away from microwaves.
Arrested Development premieres tonight after Malcolm on Fox.
Keyshawn stepped out. Keenan McCardell will take up the slack for him, making the catch for a pickup of 14 yards.
And all of a sudden,
Keyshawn did walk off under his own power.
And all of a sudden, Kurt, Brad Johnson has got his rhythm back. Here's that hit that he took on the last play and got the ball off to Brad Johnson. On this play, almost no pressure on Brad Johnson, but Tampa Bay down by 7, but they are moving.
2-minute warning here in Tampa.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by the new Chevy Malibu. Your private Malibu showing starts at ChevyMalibu.com.
It's simple, really. If we could get everybody in the country to drive the all-new Chevy Malibu, we think they'd agree. It's just about perfect.
See anything?
Hold up.
Bingo. Damn.
That's one way around holiday blackout dates. The Capital One Miles 1 card is a better way. Fly any major airline anytime with no blackout dates.
What's in your wallet? I know where you live!
Hey guys, want to make a trade? Call 1-800-NFL-SNAP or visit NFLYouthFootball.com. Check it out.
We are 2 minutes on the game clock away from the Visa halftime report. JB, Terry, Howie, and Jimmy with all the latest NFL scores and highlights. Plus the up to the second Fox Sports ticker will get you up to the second stats. That's all on the Visa halftime report. Keyshawn Johnson back in here. 2 minutes to go before half. First down for the Bucs. Aaron Stecker gets away from Charles Grant, but he held him up long enough for the rest of the Saints defense to get there, and there'll be a loss of 2 on the play.
Well, Kurt, we talked earlier and said the formula for the Saints beating Tampa Bay twice last season was putting a lot of pressure on Brad Johnson, and so far with Johnson's 16 passes, they really haven't gotten that same kind of pressure this year that they did last year. Johnson sacked once, but only hit 3 times and forced to scramble twice. So that shuffled offensive line, missing the left tackle Roman Oben, has done a pretty good job.
Johnson thrown high and caught along the sidelines. Nice job of pulling it in by Keenan McCardell. Down to the 14-yard line and a first down for the Bucs.
First down and a cannon shot because they're into the red zone for the first time today. You see Fred Thomas trying to cover Keenan McCardell.
Captain Ron finally got something to do. Off the play fake. Johnson towards the end zone, looking for Todd Yoder, incomplete. No flags.
That was well covered by Ashley Ambrose and Jay Bellamy.
Well, the Saints secondary having to play with Ashley Ambrose right now, who's normally the third or nickel cornerback. Dale Carter went out on this series along with Darren Smith. Dale Carter has an injured left quad. We're not quite sure what the injury is to Darren Smith. We're told now, actually, has a hamstring injury. Both those guys, we are now told, are done for the rest of the day.
And the good news for the Saints is Ashley Ambrose is one of the better backup cornerbacks in the National Football League.
Anytime you're missing two defensive starters, that can be tough. Brad Johnson brought down. Willie Whitehead on the sack.
I just talked about how this offensive line has done a pretty good job, but on this play here, Willie Whitehead beats Cornell Green, number 74, right there. He comes right off Cornell Green. Green, of course, playing right tackle. Kenyatta Walker, the normal right tackle, slid over to play left tackle to replace Roman Oben.
Green had not been active all season long. Active today, getting the start and beaten on that play by Willie Whitehead.
This is where you expect the Saints to come with a blitz, but they don't.
They can get a first down if they can get it to the 4, but Michael Pittman won't get close to it. Fred Thomas wrapped him up right after he made the grab.
Yeah, Thomas made that tackle like a linebacker. You know, because Michael Pittman, remember, is a compact, physical guy, and Fred Thomas doesn't do any of this kind of Deion Sanders dive with their feet cornerback tackle. I mean, he lays them out.
So the Bucs call a timeout to stop the clock right before halftime. They'll bring Martin Gramatica on to attempt a field goal to get them on the scoreboard if they can before halftime. And don't forget, coming up is the Visa halftime report. JB and the gang will have all the scores and highlights, plus the Fox Sports ticker. We'll get you updated with up-to-the-second stats on the Visa halftime report.
Of course, anyone who remembers the Carolina game here is not feeling completely comfortable with the fact they're going to line up, even though it is a short kick.
Now, Gramatica has been good other than that. He's had 2 field goals and an extra point blocked in that game. But other than that, he's 6 of 11 on the year, counting those 3 misses. And his other miss was from 60 and 62 yards. Plus, he did miss one from 48 last week. So.
Well, no, but
the point is,
he is a good kicker, and you think, oh, this is automatic. But the fact that they had 3 kicks blocked this season, and you know that they don't have Roman Oben in there, so there's been some shuffling on this protection team as well.
Tom Tupa with the hold. Ryan Benjamin with the snap. Gets it down cleanly, and it's up. And no good. So Mr. Consistency other than the Carolina Panthers game, looking inconsistent as he misses that attempt from 36 yards away. And so we will go to the locker rooms with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers shut out here in this first half. New Orleans taking advantage of an interception by Ashley Ambrose and turning it into a touchdown pass from Aaron Brooks to Michael Lewis 1 play later from 38 yards away. It's 7-0 Saints with the lead here at halftime in Tampa. Fox NFL Sunday will continue after this. JB from Hollywood.
Get ready for the rush. NASCAR returns to Fox, February 2004.
Colts and the Redskins renew one of the oldest rivalries as they invade Texas Stadium to battle Carter and the first-place Cowboys. Fox NFL Sunday doubleheader continues later today.
Fox 17 has your ticket to the hottest highlights and all the big scores.
Tonight on the ticket, we'll go to Ford Field for the Lions against the Raiders. We'll recap yesterday's big Michigan State game and Floyd Mayweather's title fight from the Van Andel. We'll see you after the news.
Catch the Fox 17 Sports Ticket tonight after the news on Fox 17. Are you a true blue Lions fan? Come out to the Centerpoint Mall in Grand Rapids this Thursday between 6 and 7:30 p.m. and strut your stuff. You may win a Lions Sweet Party. Check out WXMI.com.
Look again, look again. Truck season is here with vehicles that carry as much cash back as they do cargo. In fact, the best-selling Explorer 4-door comes with $5,500 cash back. And the Built for Safety Windstar comes with $5,000 cash back. Or save long-term on either with interest-free financing for 6 years. Just see your neighborhood Michigan Ford dealer now, because truck season ends soon. Where you been?
Give your home a designer look without the designer price tag with Dutch Boy Dimensions interior paint from Menards. Dimensions offers a full palette of rich designer colors along with the applicators and techniques to let you turn bare walls into beautiful works of art. Granite finish simulates the look of natural rough-hewn stone, or choose the subtle texture of brushed suede. Both on sale, just $25.95 a gallon. For great paint, head to Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
I'm guessing 21. Oh, it's not bad.
And I'm going with 25.
Good. You know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking 42. 42?
I can live with that. I can live with that.
Oh! Introducing Club Keno, a whole new gaming experience played in a whole new place from the Michigan Lottery.
I say 50.
Hey, man, your ride's leaving.
Club Keno. Every 5 minutes, it's a whole new game.
Get Straight Talk tonight on Fox 17 News at 10.
The Visa Halftime Report is brought to you by Visa. If you love the NFL, it's everywhere you want to be.
All right, and welcome to those of you watching New Orleans, Tampa Bay, the Giants and Jets in Carolina and Houston. Let's start first with New Orleans and Tampa Bay.
All right, Warren Sapp, get it ready, buckle up, here we come. Saints giving you trouble all the time. Johnson back, looking for Keenan McCardell, but ball tipped by Charles Grant, and there's Ashley Ambrose. He comes with it for the interception. Brooks looking down the middle for Michael Lewis. Behind the linebacker, between the safeties, 38-yard touchdown. Saints up 7-0 over Tampa Bay. Carolina, Houston. Jay DeLong, Panthers looking for another win. Looking back, Smith on a post route. Cover 2, beat the middle linebacker, get inside the safety. There it is, 7-0 Carolina. Tony Banks in for the injured David Carr, sacked by Mike Rutger. 9th sack, leads the NFC for Rutger. And then Jake Delhomme in the second half. Looks right, pump. Why did he throw it? I don't know. It's picked off in the end zone by Aaron Glenn, but Muhammad quit on the route. 7-0 Carolina over Houston. Now Chad Pennington, first start of the year, looking good in the first half. Nice back, look, lob, sudden him off, coming inside on the delay, 8-yard touchdown, 7-0 Jets over the Giants. And then Curtis Martin up in the eye, up inside, bounces to the outside, 10-yard run, but coughs up the ball. Brandon Short recovers for the Giants, 38-yard field goal, 7-3 until Kerry Collins looking left, and you talk about a great throw. Amani Toomer, great, there it is, 39-yard touchdown. 13-7 at the half is the Giants over the Jets.
And the Dolphins on top of the coach nursing just a 1-point lead. Dolphins have won, I guess, 3 consecutive. Now there it is. And the Ravens have won 5 consecutive against the Jaguars, lead it by 4 there. And look at this score here. Howie doesn't want to look at that. The Lions trying to snap a 6-game losing streak on top of the Raiders by the score of 10-3. And who said the Bears were in hibernation early?
Well, actually, Jimmy and Howie said that. Of course, I jumped out there and said, "Don't be putting them in the den."
Some more of that revisionist history.
Yeah.
Were you working
it's all coming back to
Were you working on the Reagan show too?
New Orleans, Tampa Bay. Howie, let's start first there. Duce McAllister, you said take it to the ground.
Yeah, he's a guy. Here's a guy, Duce McAllister. The formula historically for beating Tampa Bay, and this could be, you know, if this thing holds out the way it is now, Tampa Bay in danger of losing their 3rd game at home. Difficult to do. McAllister is a guy that the difference in his yards per carry from the first quarter to the 4th quarter, historically in particular this year, are enormous. He really pounds you. He wears you down. They've controlled the clock for almost 15 minutes. The formula with Tampa Bay on their defense is to pound them. If this holds true, they could lose their 3rd game. Of course, you said New Orleans was on a kick.
Who they face next week, the Carolina Panthers. You should not be this close, 7-0. Jake Delhomme throws an interception in the end zone. Houston's only got 61 total yards. The most significant thing about this game, 2 critical plays that were instant replay overturns, and it helps Carolina take that, Brian Billick.
Yeah.
Did you say Houston, Coach?
Oh, yeah,
I said Carolina, Houston.
Yeah.
That's who's playing today, Terry.
I didn't know.
I just got
Stephen Davis with 6 100-yard game of the season. That is a club record. Hey, Jeff Quinn pronounces the Carolina quarterback how does he say it?
Dale Home.
Dale Home.
Dale Home, and he done good. Dale Home was wondering why Mushin Muhammad stopped on that route on that interception.
I know it is.
We know it's Delhomme. Scott
We know it's Delhomme.
Hey, did Howie not want to talk about Detroit, Oakland?
Detroit. Well, you know, our guy Frank picked the Lions to take care of the Raiders.
Rick Meyer is a game breaker.
He's a breaker, all right. It's not a game breaker.
Oh, no, you're not like a Tommy. Jimmy Johnson's not a big Tony Banks fan either. Hey, folks, second half of the Visa halftime will continue right after this.
Out of there.
Visa. If you love the NFL, it's everywhere you want to be.
When Ron Howard turned his talents to television, we knew his show would be special.
Securities and Exchange Commission.
They have boats? But we never imagined this. It's the fall's best new sitcom, Hysterical. The one, the only must-see sitcom, the funniest new comedy. Usually critics' quotes are only good for one thing.
Shredder? No. Save it. Save it. Shredder.
But ignoring these would be criminal.
I'm having the time of my life. Hey, T-Bone.
Arrested Development. Series premiere at 9:30 tonight on Fox. Fox Tuesday.
Someone's threatening to release a virus here in L.A.
First, it's a special encore of the season premiere of 24.
The damage to this country would be catastrophic.
Then, on an all-new episode, a nation facing its greatest disaster.
They found a body that's been infected.
A man fighting his weakest moment.
I am not going on record with this addiction.
The crisis is just beginning.
Chase, we got a runner! Get out of the way! Move!
24, 2 full hours. It all starts at 8/7 Central, Fox Tuesday.
Okay, move your mouse up here.
This is Martine Gramatica of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Good job right there.
Thank you.
Martine helps United Way by volunteering in his community, teaching valuable skills to kids.
Oh, that's very good right there.
He knows what matters.
Let's see what you have. Hey, that's me right there.
Uh-huh.
Let me see how you play this game. All right, kid.
They're so cute at that age.
A key matchup in the NFC South, and so far it's been New Orleans enjoying the southern hospitality of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, taking a turnover and turning it into points. New Orleans owning the lead here as we get ready for the start of the third quarter, 7-0. We'll be back with a kickoff right after this on Fox NFL Sunday.
Really want to make you mine. 4, 5, 6, come on and get your kicks. Now you don't need the money when you look like that, do you, honey?
You're watching the NFL on Fox.
Well, if you're a kid, it doesn't matter what the score is. You're having a good time at the ballpark, and right now it's 7-0. Saints on top of the hometown Buccaneers. The Buccaneers have had opportunities, though, on offense.
Well, they haven't, and the Saints have done a good job sticking to what they wanted to do, running Duce McAllister. And their defense, you could look at it two ways. You could say, well, Tampa Bay's offense has been struggling, and they've not been able to run the ball. Brad Johnson cooled off, but started to heat up in the second half. But the turnovers and the other mistakes, the penalties, those are the things that have killed this Tampa Bay team. This interception here, which one play later led to the Saints' only touchdown. And then this fumble here by Michael Pittman, as you can see, right there in the red zone. So Tampa Bay losing another scoring opportunity, and then coming out of right before halftime, they miss a field goal kick.
All right, after the halftime intermission, our Chip Carter had a chance to talk with the Buccaneer head coach about his offense.
Coach, I know offensively you'd like to see a little bit more consistency, especially from the running game. Michael Pittman has 29 yards.
Yeah, obviously the penalties, the turnovers, miscues have killed us. You can't play like this and expect to win in this league. We understand that. We got to see a much better improvement in the second half.
All right, thanks a lot, Coach. Back upstairs to Kurt and Tim.
All right, and he'll get a chance to see it first as his team will receive to start the second half. John Carney set to kick it off. They fake it. That's a short kick. And it went the necessary 10 yards, but did the Saints touch it before it did? And the Saints have recovered the onside kick. So Jim Haslett pulling out a little trick here to start
well, we saw the fake field goal earlier, which failed, and usually that cures you of taking a kind of a risky special teams play. This ball's only got to travel 10 yards, and you can see that it does before the Saints touch it, and they recover it, and they caught everyone by surprise. That was a perfectly pooched kick.
That's only the 5th onside kick that's worked in 25 tries in the NFL this year. First by the Saints in their 3 tries. Here's Duce McAllister. taking it at the 41-yard line to the 44, pickup of 3, and it was run Duce, which was the story for the Saints in the first half throughout much of it.
Shouldn't be a shock to see Duce McAllister coming right out, just as Howie Long said on the halftime show. That's been the formula for beating Tampa Bay. Run the football. They did it in the first half extremely well. And then you see here, those 2 Tampa Bay turnovers, one of them led to the only 7 points of this football game.
Saints trying to take advantage of a trick play to start this third quarter with the onside kick. There's McAllister again. Through the hole, and McAllister will pick up 3 more yards on the run, make it 4. Simeon Rice and Derek Brooks in there with a tackle. And so McAllister, well, they ran him the first 4 plays from scrimmage in this ball game, and so far in the second half, they've started out the same way.
Well, it's really not very exciting, but it works. It does work against Tampa Bay. Just run, and stay with it.
So in 3rd and short, they just need to get it to the Tampa Bay 49 for the first. There's McAllister again. Tried to follow his blockers. He's going to be short of the first down, however. Derek Brooks fighting through a block to make the tackle.
Say it, Derek Brooks. He blew that block up. Talk about a Pro Bowl player and what he brings to the game. Watch Derek Brooks come right up here through LaCharles Bentley, and that is a big, strong man who he knocked backwards to make this big play on 3rd down.
So the Saints are not able to take advantage of the onside kick, at least not yet. We'll see how this works out as they drop Mitch Berger back to punt to Carl Williams. High kick. Williams makes the fair catch at the 19-yard line, and so now the Buccaneers will take over their first offensive possession after the 31-yard punt. Brad Johnson and company coming out.
Enter Southwest Airlines take your team to the Super Bowl sweepstakes, and you could win a trip to the Super Bowl for you and 10 friends.
Ooh, how'd he make the list?
Brother-in-law.
Naturally.
Enter at southwest.com/Super Bowl.
When love is all we need. All we need. Don't you find that ironical? When love is all we need. Oh yeah. Oh.
PT Cruiser. Total Quality Award winner 3 years running.
As a United Way volunteer, Darren Howard helps out in a drama program that lets kids express themselves.
And action.
Badges? We don't need any stinging badges. Romeo, Romeo, where art thou, Romeo?
It doesn't matter that he's a famous NFL player.
Wax on.
What matters to the kids is that they feel good about who they are.
There ain't nobody else around here, so you must be talking to me.
Now, that was a good one.
I'm the king of the world!
You don't have to be Darren Howard to make a difference in your community.
This telecast is copyrighted by the NFL for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this telecast or of any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the NFL's consent is prohibited.
Fox NFL Sundays brought to you by the Chrysler PT Cruiser. Customize your life.
The pumpkin has left the stadium, decided to go hang out at the beach for a while, huh?
Is that a real pumpkin, or was that one of those props shipped out from L.A.?
No, that's a real pumpkin.
Really? That's a good. I didn't know they had
Charlie
a lot
Brown.
of pumpkins just laying around down here in Tampa, Florida.
Charlie Brown brought it in for us. Here's Michael Pittman. He lost the football on that play. Pittman, who's already fumbled once. Charles Grant was in there making the tackle. The ball came out. And the officials are discussing whether or not he was down by contact, or if it was a fumble, they say he was down. It'll be second down for the Bucs. No fumble.
take a quick look. And of course, it's not a play that is reviewable. And you can't tell from that shot anyway.
Second down for the Bucs. Quick pass. Ball batted in the air by Fred Thomas. Incomplete. Well, Brad Johnson in that first half, his numbers were a lot like this Buccaneer season.
Right, he was hot and then extremely cold. You see 0 for 6 at one point, and then he heated up again towards the end of the first half. That last pass, dangerously close to being intercepted by Fred Thomas. He read it all the way. You know, the thing about throwing that pass to Dilger out there as a tight end is Fred Thomas not worried at all about being beaten deep by a big tight end.
On third down, they need the 29. Johnson overthrows Jameel Cook out of the backfield, incomplete. And so that up and down roller coaster is on a down streak right now. He's missed his first 2 here in the second half.
Yeah, and not only does Brad Johnson not complete the pass, this time he takes a big shot from the Saints defensive line. I think it was Charles Grant.
John Gruden talked at halftime about the struggles of his offense, and this will not make him any happier. Third 3 and out of the day for the Buccaneers. Here's Tom Tupa to punt. Michael Lewis from the 30. Penalty marker down on the play. Looks like that'll be an illegal block against one of the Saints. Dwayne Rudd went flying. I think Victor Green may have been the guy to get him.
Kurt, when you think about Tampa Bay and how they won last week against Dallas, the Cowboys came in here at 5-1. It was a big game for them. They just handed the ball to Michael Pittman. They just ran the ball against Dallas's defense, which was the #1 defense in the National Football League. Today, against the New Orleans Saints, which has really struggled defensively to stop the run, they've not had any success at all. Only 11 carries for 31 yards on the ground. And they haven't stayed with the run either.
Illegal block in the back. The block is on the side. The defender falls on the side. 1st and 10.
So Victor Green got out of that one. No penalty on the play. Fred Thomas is still down as an injured Saint, however. We'll take a quick timeout here in Tampa.
What do people see in the new Chrysler Pacifica?
I see a woman who knows how to relax.
I see a man who knows where he's going in the world.
I see a painter, a parent, an individual.
I see a mom and a dad who are completely behind their kids.
Introducing the Chrysler Pacifica, well beyond the SUV.
There's a feeling in my heart that I can't explain. Is this love? The look in your eyes I just can't explain. Is this love? I lose myself after being. So tomorrow, will you feel the same? Is this love? Is this love? Is this love?
Fox Wednesday. Donna's going off to college, but Eric's staying behind. How will they ever say goodbye?
This could be the last time you and I stand by the Vista Cruiser.
Love is in the air, and in the bedroom, and on the couch.
If I had known what I was coming home to after my heart attack, I would have walked straight into that bright light and never looked back.
And only that 70 show. Then it's the strangest place on the planet.
I think I'd like the rest of this to go. Okay. There, it's gone.
But is this wacko town ready for Norm Macdonald as mayor?
I'm challenging you to a debate. The only thing I know about debate is that it goes on the end of the pole.
A Minute with Stan Hooper, all new after an all new That 70 Show. It all starts at 8/7 Central, Fox Wednesday.
Well, smile still on the face of the Tampa Bay faithful, because despite the fact they've struggled on offense, they've turned it over twice, it's still a 7-0 ball game here in the third quarter.
Right, still in this game. Bad news for the Saints. Fred Thomas was the guy who was hurt. They really need him. Without Dale Carter, if Fred Thomas is hurt, they're down to their last cornerback on the roster, Fakir Brown.
He's got a chance to catch his breath with the Saints on offense right now. Jermaine Phillips comes up and makes the tackle on Duce McAllister for a loss of 4.
And that's the free hitter that we talked about earlier in the game, Kurt. Jermaine Phillips in because John Lynch is out with the neck stinger. And Phillips, a very adequate guy to come up and play in the run defense. Here he comes here. He's the extra man in an 8-man front. And that's a very nice tackle against Duce McAllister.
An interesting young man, was a wide receiver at the University of Georgia until his junior year. Asked to switch to defense, and obviously it's worked out for him. Brooks. That one's thrown low. Terrell Smith can't handle it.
Well, while Brad Johnson had some struggles with his passing, going hot, cold, hot, then cold, then hot again, Aaron Brooks has pretty much been consistently erratic.
He really has, and we talked about him performing better this season, coming into this game having completed 61% of his passes, but so far in the afternoon he's 5 of 14.
But the one big one where it counted was that touchdown pass. That one he got.
Needs to get him to midfield for the first. Caught. Joe Horn just shy of the first down. Rondé Barber with the tackle that prevented him from getting there. He picked up about 12 and needed 13.
It's the second time today we've seen Joe Horn catch a ball with a defender all over him, and he does this so well. I think this is one of the strengths of Joe Horn's game. He breaks here to the inside of the field on the slant pattern, and you see Rondé Barber hits him as soon as that ball is there. He still hangs on to it. He thought he had it.
He's about a half yard short, and the Saints are going to go for it on fourth down.
Remember, fourth down in overtime last week, they gave it to Duce McAllister, and he was hit by Julius Peppers and fumbled the ball. The Saints then lost on the ensuing drive by Carolina.
And Brooks stripped. They tried the same play, and it looks like the same results. I don't think McAllister got there. Brooks tripped, stepped on someone's foot coming out, and then got the handoff to Duce McAllister, who went airborne, but I think the Buccaneers stopped him before he got to the first down marker.
Take a look at it. There's Brooks slipping, tripping, and he actually takes some of the momentum away from Duce McAllister. And that play right there, Kurt, is like a turnover.
And they don't get the first down, so the Buccaneers will take over on down right at midfield.
There are no gold medals for the 4x4 that masters Arctic snow. There are no championship games for fording muddy water. And there are no finish lines for the one that makes it over stacks of treacherous boulders. So why do we make sure every Jeep 4x4 is trail rated to such strict standards of capability? Perhaps the better question is, why doesn't everyone else? If it's not trail rated, it's not a Jeep 4x4.
Phantom ship that attacks and kills.
Our enemy has more than twice our guns, more than twice our numbers.
197 souls on the ultimate mission.
Take her. We'd have to be invisible. Well then, there's not a moment to lose.
On November 14th.
Straight out of Mr. Moe.
The hunt is on.
Come on, lad.
Russell Crowe.
Put up the colors.
Master and Commander. Rated PG-13. November 14th. Only in theaters.
Each night of his charms,
hey, Donovan! Surprise!
It's not my yard.
So if you're looking
Oops.
If you really want tickets to the game, just use your Visa.
It's the card you know they'll take everywhere you want to be. Visa.
Hey, you!
Proud sponsor of the NFL.
On Joe Millionaire, he went to Italy to find the woman of his dreams. What he found were Europe's wildest women.
Who are you gonna call? Gold diggers?
Now he'll be lucky
I like money, of course. I'm not gonna lie.
if he gets out alive.
Are you grabbing my leg? That girl's nuts.
The next Joe Millionaire
Don't get mad. Get everything.
at 8 tomorrow.
Derek Brooks in on that big defensive stop for Tampa Bay. Duce McAllister's pulled up short, and Derek Brooks tried to rally up his offense to try to get some points out of it.
The pitch to Pittman. Stretching it out. He won't even get back to the line of scrimmage. Lost a yard on the play.
When you're trying to pull yourselves out of a rut, you need a guy like Derek Brooks to get excited, and he's got the defense excited. Now he's giving Cozy Coleman the slapping him and Jameel Cook and all these guys saying, all right, now let's go do something. But, you know, Kurt, this defense has given their offense a short field. This is the third time. This time only 49 yards to go, but they've had short fields of 59 and 54 yards where they've got the ball at midfield and done nothing with it so far.
Keyshawn Johnson makes the catch on the ball that was thrown behind him. Nice grab, a gain of 14 and a first down. Out to L.A. and JB for a game break.
Hey, Kurt, Houston had 61 total yards in the first half, 73 yards on this drive, culminated by Stacey Mack's 1-yard run, all tied at 7. It was Pennington to Moss on the opening drive of the first half, Pennington to Moss opening drive of the second half, and the Jets have retaken the lead 14-13 over the Giants. Back to Kurt and Tim.
All right, JB, it's 7-0 Saints on top, but the Buccaneers driving after the fourth down stop. Michael Pittman, that one led him too much incomplete.
Keyshawn Johnson, Kurt, 6 passes, 6 catches for 77 yards. He's been thrown to 8 times. No doubt today he has been the feature of this Tampa Bay offense, and he had that one catch that was spectacular, and I think they should just keep doing it, especially with the injury to Dale Carter. They're going to have a matchup with Keyshawn Johnson and Fakir Brown, who is the 4th cornerback for the New Orleans Saints.
He's facing him
Here
right
he is,
now.
right there.
They look that way. Johnson forced to pull it down. Well, this is not Brad Johnson's strength, but he makes it pay off. Kenny Smith finally tackled him after a run of 7.
Well, that's just a tribute to the Saints' coverage downfield, Kurt. Because Brad Johnson buys himself plenty of time, and you know he is not a scrambler. He does not want to try to run this football. He wants to try to find a receiver, but you see all that coverage down there by the New Orleans secondary is outstanding. One of the things, too, John Gruden told us is he wanted to get his tight end Dilger and his running back Pittman out into the pass patterns.
Quick pass to Keyshawn. Catch number 7 and another first down for the Bucs.
And he's just hot right now. And you know what? For whatever it is, if it's luck, you want to call it luck, or chemistry, you want to call it chemistry. When you get something going like this, and Brad Johnson seems to be able to find Keyshawn better than anyone else, I think you just keep riding that horse.
Well, he had 1 catch each of the last 2 games, and he's broken out today for 7 already with 80 yards. Michael Pittman into the red zone. Captain Ron? I guess he's waiting till it becomes official.
That's a little too electronic for me, you know?
There we go.
You know what I'm saying, though? I mean, I'd like to see a little, you know, slow, what is it, the slow match in the tubs.
But I think the people right in front of him don't want to see that, all right? They wanted electronic, modern technology. Let's pretend no real cannonballs come flying out of there. But they get into the red zone for the 2nd time today. Captain Ron gets to fire up the cannons on the pirate ship. All the movement by this Buccaneers offense. Here comes the blitz. Michael Pittman out of the backfield. Nice play by Bucky Jones. Kerry Jenkins was out there to try and block for Pittman. Bucky just ran by him.
Yeah, Brad Johnson does a nice job. He lets the blitz almost get to him, and then he dumps it up over the blitzer's head. But Bucky Jones, who really has struggled a little bit in this defense, Kurt, has not looked extremely comfortable. He looks comfortable right here. He beats Kerry Jenkins, just runs inside of him and makes this tackle and puts Tampa Bay into a 3rd and 4?
They need to get it to the 13-yard line. Thomas
Look for
Jones.
Keyshawn, right?
Under pressure again, ball's out. There's a mad scramble for it. And the Saints have recovered. 3rd turnover of the day for this Buccaneer offense.
Well, there's the pressure that we talked about. The formula for the Saints' victories last season, and it's Willie Whitehead. He's working on Kenyatta Walker, works right around Brad Johnson, looking for Keyshawn on the crossing route. There was good coverage on him, and he hangs onto the ball just a little too late.
Well, the Buccaneers had only 8 turnovers on offense all season long, 8 turnovers in 7 games, and 4 of those came in one game against San Francisco. But right now, they're having another bad day holding on to the football. That's their 3rd.
The Tampa Bay looks sloppy and self-destructive, and that's how they've looked at times in each of their 3 losses prior to today.
Now the crowd is trying to help them after the turnover. Duce McAllister runs for a gain of 4 on the play. Shelton Quarles with the tackle. Well, this Bucs offense has gotten into the red zone twice today. They missed a field goal attempt, and then this time they turned the ball over on a fumble by Brad Johnson.
And if you wonder why the Saints are 3-5 and struggling at the bottom of the division, you see this season they were -8th in turnover margin, 3rd worst, but today +3.
They have struggled to get turnovers all season long.
Still, you could just see this Tampa Bay defense coming up with a big play and evening it right back out.
That ball batted down by Simeon Rice. Now the Bucs defense is doing their part to keep it a close game.
And they did it with Derek Brooks on the blitz and Simeon Rice with his athleticism. Watch Derek Brooks right here. He's going to come up here, and Aaron Brooks is going to feel that pressure. Simeon Rice with the knockdown.
What are you doing, Shell?
Needing the 30 for the 1st. They've got 3 wide receivers in. Brooks zips that one in there to Joe Horn. Completes it for the 1st down.
That was the best pass we've seen Aaron Brooks throw today. I know he threw the 1 touchdown pass, but even that was a little wobbly. This pass, perfect. And Aaron Brooks has to slide to his right to get it there. Just nicely thrown, threads it right between the coverage there, you see.
They pick up.
Makes it easy. Watch Brooks, watch him slide. He slides to his right and throws that ball on the run.
They pick up 14 yards, 1st down. Penalty markers on the play as Duce McAllister runs for a gain of 4, but let's see what the flag is and get the call from Gerald Austin.
Illegal motion on the offense. One man goes in motion before the other man is set. 5 yards, repeat 1st down.
So that one will be coming back.
I think it was Ernie Conwell. It wasn't set yet. Terrell Smith, the fullback, went with his shift. You know, Kurt, Tampa Bay up front starting to really use run stunts to try to stop Duce McAllister. Taking those defensive linemen and slanting them in to the inside of the offense.
On 1st and 15. Brooks, that one broken up by Tim Wansley, intended for Joe Horn. And Wansley in this entire Bucs secondary has played well despite the injuries they've had this season.
Well, he has. He's tackled well, and on this one, he reads it perfectly. Now, they've been going for Joe Horn right in this area. So when Joe Horn sits down, it's not the first time Wansley's seen it today. And so he reacts quicker than he's reacted before.
Oh, remember, Wansley really struggled in the game against Indianapolis. Part of the reason that the Colts were able to come back when he got thrown in due to the injury.
21-point deficit, that's right.
Brian Kelly went out of the game. He's now on injured reserve for the rest of the season. Duce McAllister through a hole. McAllister out to the 46-yard line, a pickup of 13. Rondé Barber and Derek Brooks with the tackle. But a nice run by McAllister.
Right, and the Saints got the Tampa Bay defense thinking pass, spread them out a little bit, opens it up on the inside. And some nice blocking by Jerry Fontenot. What a great character, 15 years in the National Football League. And I love when you ask him, how come you still do it? He said, I'm a competitor. Heck, I got 3 daughters, and I like to beat them in checkers. I don't give anybody quarter.
Right now he's got to help the Saints offense get to the 48 for the first. Brooks rolling. They get there. McAllister with the catch.
Boy, Aaron Brooks is heating up, isn't he?
He's getting in a bit of a groove right now.
He is, and he's doing it on the run. I mean, McFarland had some good pressure right in Aaron Brooks' face, but he slides out to his right, and it's another accurate pass.
McAllister has been a busy guy, 19 catches in the game. He's also had a couple of receptions, 3 for 14 yards.
19 runs, right?
Yes, 19 runs.
That's right.
That's 19 runs, 3 catches, 22 touches. Right now, he's getting a breather. Kajana Carter comes in, and Kajana Carter is wrapped up by Nate Webster for a loss of a yard.
For the Saints now, Kurt, with 112 yards on the ground. We've still got time left in this third quarter. And I think what happens is, to any defense, despite the fact that it's this Tampa Bay defense, which people consider to be a great defense with great athletes, but any defense that stays out there in the heat for a long time with a team running against them will get worn down.
Temperatures in the mid-80s at kickoff. Brooks. Quick pass, intercepted by Derek Brooks. And once again, this Buccaneer defense has come through after a turnover by their offense. There's a penalty marker down on the sideline there late.
Tell you, a lot of times when Aaron Brooks throws his interceptions, he throws them to linebackers because he doesn't see them dropping in the underneath coverage. That's exactly what Derek Brooks did on that play.
Personal foul, slugging, number 20 of the return team, 10 yards, and it'll be 1st and 10.
Derek Brooks' interception
is 15 yards, and it'll be 1st and 10.
Personal foul will back him up a bit, but still the Buccaneers get it off the pick by Derek Brooks.
Somebody's got to feel this. 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 Feel this. Feel this.
Hey, Gina, so where do you suppose he was going? I think he's sitting at home and he says to himself, today's the day. Today I go for a little ride.
See, this just makes my day.
And that just made my day.
Picture mail that talks from Sprint. Now at Sprint stores, get great deals on a wide selection of PCS Vision picture phones starting at $99.99. Share it when it happens.
Hi. Can I help you?
We're looking for something real.
I know what you mean. Take a look.
Honey.
This will
room looks nice.
And it's trail rated. Really trail rated.
If it's not trail rated, it's not a Jeep 4x4.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Friendly nonstop service all across the country. Southwest Airlines, a symbol of freedom. By Sprint, proudly offering picture mail and PCS Vision picture phones. By the most respected, honored, and heroic 4x4s out there, only in a Jeep 4x4. And by Coors Light, the official beer sponsor of the NFL. Cold down easy.
Well, we saw Derek Brooks trying to fire up the Buccaneer offense, now taking it into his own hands, being a leader and getting an interception, the 49th consecutive game with a turnover by this Bucs defense, longest in the NFL since 1963.
Yeah, and except for that one touchdown pass, Kurt, and except for the fact that McAllister's had some success running the ball, the Tampa Bay defense has kept their offense in this football game.
They'll take over at the 38 after the penalty, and Keyshawn drops that one. Keyshawn Johnson's had a nice day, but that's his second drop. It was on top of the 7 catches.
He was almost too wide open on that, right? I mean, the difficult catches he's been making today. This play here, there's a tremendous amount of space he's got between him and Fakir Brown. And again, I think that's a matchup Tampa Bay wants to continue to visit. Fakir Brown being their 4th cornerback, and Keyshawn having a pretty good day.
There's Brad Johnson back to pass. Going up, Keenan McCardell, bumped by Bucky Jones, and it's intercepted by Ashley Ambrose. If it stands, it'll be his 2nd pick, but there's a flag already as the Saints are pretending they're the Stanford band, I think, out there just weaving in and out. Ambrose hanging on to it, but I don't think this interception will count because Bucky Jones got to McCardell early.
Pass interference, 34 defense, automatic first down.
I'll tell you what, they are very fortunate because there's no way Keenan McCardell could have caught this ball anyway, even if Bucky Jones didn't interfere with him, which he does. There's Bucky right there. And there's the interference. But that ball was misthrown by Brad Johnson anyway.
There you saw Jermaine Phillips, the safety for the Buccaneers, being carted off. And remember, they've already missing John Lynch right now, who's out with an X-stinger, so they're already trying to shuffle things in their secondary. After the penalty, Michael Pittman with a short run. That penalty worth 27 yards, and then Pittman picks up 3 more on the run.
I still don't think, Kurt, it's too late in this football game. I know it's not too late, even though the 3rd quarter is about to expire. Down 7-0 for Tampa Bay to try to reestablish the running game with Michael Pittman. Again, this Saints defense has struggled trying to stop anyone running the football against them. And last week, Michael Pittman had a great game against the Dallas Cowboys.
Had 30 carries, a career high for 113 yards. Johnson in trouble. That one's picked off by Ambrose, and it will stand.
He may be
down the sideline, being chased by Keyshawn. And Ashley Ambrose gets his 2nd interception of the day, takes it back 73 yards for the touchdown. 4th turnover by this Buccaneer offense.
The Saints defense took away his first receivers, and then they got some pressure on Brad Johnson, and Brad Johnson did what he really rarely does, Kurt, and that is make a horrible decision and throw to a guy that is covered right up.
Ambrose, the 12-year veteran, back with the Saints after a couple of years in Atlanta. Started his career in New Orleans, went to high school at 48 High School in New Orleans. And he's paying big dividends for his team today, getting extra playing time because of the injury to Dale Carter. He's had 2 interceptions. The first one set up a touchdown and then ran that one back for the score himself. And right now, the Saints have a 14-0 lead over the Buccaneers late in the 3rd quarter.
Did you see who took your sister?
He wore a hood.
And he did this. Which?
You're scaring her.
She needs to be scared, and so do you.
From director Ron Howard, The Missing. Rated R. Opens everywhere November 26th.
Great teams are often forged over the hot coals of adversity. On the eve of the big meeting, the third quarter numbers suddenly changed. But so did your presentation, automatically. You have the new Microsoft Office system. It's a Cinderella story.
As John Lynch makes his way through another NFL season, one can't help but notice just how stylish he looks in his brand new authentic jersey. Trendy, dashing, 100% fashionable. It's a jersey that'll earn him football's highest compliment.
Get whatever's on the field by calling 877-NFL-SHOP. For a free team catalog of NFL gear, call now or visit NFL Shop on NFL.com.
Gruden can't help but admire Lynch's impeccable sense of style.
Access NFL.com to vote for your favorite NFL All-Stars. The Pro Bowl ballot is online exclusively at NFL.com.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by Microsoft. Your potential, our passion.
When Brad Johnson drops back on his three-step drop, he wants to throw the ball right away. But you see right here, he has no place to throw the ball. Everyone is tightly covered, and then he gets the pressure, and then he makes this errant throw to Heller, the tight end. Well, watch him. He gets bumped by Cornell Green right there, number 74, and Cozy Coleman kind of put Brad Johnson in a sandwich, and you see what a duck he throws. Almost, Kurt, you think that he was trying to throw that ball over his tight end's head and out of bounds.
Kickoff taken by Aaron Stecker. Stecker going to be brought down right at the 28-yard line by Steve Gleason. 12 yards on the return, and that'll be the end of the third quarter here. So far, both defenses have stood up, but Ashley Ambrose has stood the tallest. A pair of interceptions, including the last one returned for a touchdown, and the Saints have a 14-0 lead.
You're watching the NFL on Fox.
Ram! Sunday, going fishing in a Hemi-powered Ram! Monday! You gotta stop.
Get $4,500 cash allowance or 0% financing on 2003 Ram 1500.
I've got to have this for Saturday night. What's Saturday?
This is awesome!
You might want to check out these speakers too. They're shorter. Shorter's good, man. Yeah.
Thousands of possibilities. Get yours. Best Buy.
A 6,500-pound towing capacity. Just one of the many reasons the trail-rated Jeep Grand Cherokee is so capable. Get 0% financing for 60 months or a $3,500 cash allowance plus our 770 powertrain limited warranty. If it's not trail-rated, it's not a Jeep 4x4. The best values in America just got better.
Catch the Friday Football Blitz, Friday at 10:35 on Fox 17.
Redskin head coach Steve Spurrier, all dressed, ready to go in Dallas. Go Parcells, different fashion attire as he comes to the stadium, getting ready for Game 2 of our Fox NFL Sunday doubleheader. It's the Redskins and the Cowboys. Most of you will get that one. Others will catch the Rams and Niners or the Eagles and the Falcons.
Would you believe it if I told you Washington has only won 1 out of the last 11 games against Dallas?
And that was at the end of last season, which pretty much put the nail in the Dave Campo coffin.
Right.
And got Bill Parcells to Dallas.
And if Washington loses today, they may at least roll out the coffin for Steve Spurrier.
Keyshawn Johnson. Keyshawn makes the catch and run for 11 yards. Let's run out to L.A. and see what JB's got going on.
All right, Kurt, we're going to take you down to Houston first to show you how Houston went ahead of Carolina. Tony Banks hooking up with Billy Miller. Post route there, 20-yard strike, 14-10, Houston, and then New York. Kerry Collins to Ike Hilliard, 6 yards. That came on a 3rd and goal. Collins, 14 of 24, 185, and 2 touches. Back to Kurt and Tim.
All right, JB. That pass high. Ty Yoder goes up, gets him, and stays alive on the sideline. 20 yards on the reception for the big tight end.
Really nice job. Of course, Yoder with the 2 touchdown catches against Washington several weeks ago. No one even knew who he was. And this is a beautiful catch by Yoder here. Watch him. He's got to go up. He's got to absorb the hit by Tabucky Jones. He does. He hangs on to it. And then barrels for 5 extra yards after he's hit for the 2nd time.
Well, the Buccaneers certainly hoping that gets their offense going. Ball on the 41. Michael Pittman stutter steps and fights his way for a gain of 4. Mel Williams with the tackle.
We talked right from the beginning of this game, Kurt, and everyone's been saying, well, what's going on with Tampa Bay? They're the defending world champions and has this hangover of winning a championship and all the distractions that come with it. Has it really affected this team? 4-3 coming into today. Big win against Dallas last week, and they insisted to a man that they're fine. Their confidence is high.
But they have yet to put together back-to-back wins this season. They'll have to come back if they expect to do it today. Underneath to Michael Pittman. Pittman lost his footing as he went down. Fred Thomas with a nice tackle. Short pickup of 2 yards on that one.
And that's the 2nd time we've seen Fred Thomas make a linebacker-type tackle against Michael Pittman.
And down by 2 touchdowns with just over 12 and a half minutes left. This could be a key 3rd down for the Bucs.
I think they're in 4-down country.
Johnson overthrows Thomas Jones coming out of the backfield, incomplete.
I think I'd go for it.
Well, they need to get it to the 31-yard line, so there are 4 yards needed here on 4th down.
I just think I would. Their defense has been doing a really nice job in limiting what the Saints have been able to do offensively, and I think you're the world champions. You've got 4 yards to go. You're down by 2 touchdowns. Go ahead, make it happen.
And they are going for it. Thomas Jones in the backfield.
The only thing I'm surprised about, Kurt, is that Keyshawn Johnson is on the sideline.
Nor Michael Pittman's on the sideline also. Under pressure, Johnson. Cut from behind for the sack. Willie Whitehead, his 2nd sack of the game. Make it his 3rd sack, actually. 4 sacks for this Saints defense, 3 of them by Whitehead, and they force the Bucs out on downs.
We engineered a material behind the dash called quiet steel. Only the new Ford F-150 has it, which means it's the only truck to deliver this. The sound of quality. The sound of the quietest pickup, period. Only this truck earned the right to be the next F-150. If you haven't looked at Ford lately, look again.
Taco Bell's Zesty Chicken Bowl. Grilled all-white meat chicken, seasoned rice, cheese, lettuce, and Fiesta salsa. Made right when you order it. For a fresh taste that's hard to top. Show off. For fresh-made taste, think outside the bun.
There are ordinary disposable razors, but now there's new Sensor 3 from Gillette. Totally new handle, 3 blades, on springs that adjust to your face. No disposable shaves better. It could be the best disposable you ever threw away. New Gillette Sensor 3.
I got it, Coach Gruden. Looks like you're a little close here. You think I could get some tickets to the game?
What do you think?
If you really want tickets to the game, just use your Visa. It's the card you know they'll take everywhere you want. Visa, proud sponsor of the NFL.
Fox NFL Sundays, brought to you by the all-new Ford Freestar. Pure genius. If you haven't looked at Ford lately, look again. By Master and Commander, the year's most anticipated motion picture starring Russell Crowe, November 14th. By Visa, if you love the NFL, it's everywhere you want to be. And by WebMD, redefining modern medicine.
I think that's part of the Pumpkins drive back from the beach, you know? You go out there, you spend part of the day once the sun starts setting.
Pumpkin's been active, and so is Willie Whitehead, right? With 2 sacks. And we talked about the shuffled and injured Tampa Bay offensive line. They've done a pretty good job at times. But, Kurt, I got to tell you, Brad Johnson has been forced to hold the ball longer than I've ever seen him. And that credit goes to the Saints defensive backfield.
There's Duce McAllister. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, maybe a yard on the play. But you talked about that Saints defense and the pressure they've put on Brad Johnson. Look at the numbers, sacked 4 times. And he's also had 4 turnovers, mind you, in this game.
Right, but they started out this game. I thought they did a really good job starting out with protecting Brad Johnson. But as I said, I think a lot of the reason for these 4 sacks on that play right there, you could see Brad Johnson looking. The last 2 sacks for sure, he has held on to the ball for a very long time with no receivers open downfield. And again, we were both surprised on that last play, 4th down, that not have Keyshawn or Pittman in the game.
Aaron Brooks going deep. Michael Lewis overthrown, incomplete. Rondé Barber in there is one of the few healthy veterans for this secondary for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers right now. And now they've got injuries all over the place. Yeah. Ryan Neese is now out of the game. We saw Jermaine Phillips being carted off. And those are the guys that got hurt in the game. Inactive before this one started. Joe Jaravicious, Roman Oben, Lynch, John Howell, who is Lynch's replacement, and also Brian Kelly. I mean, so they are banged up, especially on the defensive side of the football. John Lynch on the sideline with that neck stinger. He's missed the last 2 games. And he hurt it really 4 games ago. It was in and out for 2 weeks. And now not even suiting up the last 2. And right now, David Gibson is in there replacing the injured Jermaine Phillips. Here's Brooks on 3rd down. Tim Wansley hoping to have a chance at it. Couldn't quite get it.
Boy, Warren Sapp was coming at him fast and hard.
Oh, I loved it. Did you see the guys on the sideline? One of the coaches on the sideline thought he had a chance at an interception. Oh, he's playing one-man leapfrog.
Take a look, Kurt, at Warren Sapp. Look at him right here. He beats right through the double team, gets his shoulders turned, runs past Kendall Jaycox, and that's why Aaron Brooks dumped that thing off so fast.
I love that guy. Injured. Saint down on the field right now. We'll take a timeout to see what's up with LaCharles Bentley.
Did we make a beer with half the carbs of Bud Light taste good? No. We made it taste great. Miller Lite. Great taste, less filling.
There are ordinary disposable razors, but now there's new Sensor 3 from Gillette. Totally new handle, 3 blades, on springs that adjust to your face. No disposable shaves better. It could be the best disposable you ever threw away. New Gillette Sensor 3.
Ford refers to the Freestar safety systems as tailor-made. Let me explain to you what they're talking about. An industry-leading 12 different sensors throughout this vehicle, talking to this brain, measure impact forces, and then activate the safety system specific to the situation. Safety has to be engineered in. You can't just bolt it on. Now that's pure genius.
The all-new Ford Freestar. If you haven't looked at Ford lately, look again.
What's the first thing you remember?
There was a girl.
Miranda, what's that?
What do you want from me?
Gothica, rated R, starts November 21st.
Hey guys, want to make a trade? Call 1-800-NFL-SNAP or visit NFLYouthFootball.com. Check it out.
Well, Warren Sapp and the Tampa Bay defense trying their best to keep this a close game. Right now, they've forced the Saints into a punting situation. Mitch Berger back to kick it to Carl Williams. Backs Williams up. Lets it go over his head inside the 5. Nice play to stop it right there. That'll be Talman Gardner, the rookie, after the 59-yard punt by Berger.
All hands down!
A phantom ship that attacks and kills.
Our enemy has more than twice our guns, more than twice our numbers.
197 souls on the ultimate mission.
Take her. We'd have to be invisible.
Well then, there's not a moment to lose. On November 14th,
Straight at him, Mr. Mullen.
the hunt is on.
Come on, lad!
Russell Crowe.
Put up the colors.
Master and Commander. Rated PG-13. November 14th, only in theaters.
Life got simple the day I plugged into the big brown machine. West Coast overnight, done. China, 48 hours, done. Brown picks it all up together and delivers it all on time. And with their global tracking system, I get the proof. It isn't that I'm not a trusting person. Yes, it is.
International Overnight Ground Synchronized. UPS. What can Brown do for you?
Okay, move your mouse up here.
This is Martin Gramatica of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Good job right there.
Thank you.
Martin helps United Way by volunteering in his community, teaching valuable skills to kids.
Oh, that's very good right there.
He knows what matters.
Let's see what you have. Hey, that's me right there.
Uh-huh.
Let me see how you play this game. All right, kid.
They're so cute at that age.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by UPS. What can Brown do for you?
Well, I guess the pumpkin just went to pick up a friend. He wasn't really driving back from the beach. Wanted someone to share this view with, I guess. Captain Ron must be the guy who's driving him around because he's abandoned ship.
That's not a good sign when you're down 14 points.
Your offense starting at its 3-yard line. That tipped and almost intercepted. They've already had 4 turnovers in this game, and they came close to picking up another one as Orlando Ruff got a hand on that one, but
the first
that kind of day for the Bucs offense.
The first one started with that tip by Charles Grant. The second one, the fumble by Michael Pittman when he tries to do a little too much, and Jay Bellamy puts a swat on him. The third one, Willie Whitehead. And the fourth one there when Brad Johnson under pressure gets bumped as he throws it right into the hands of Ashley Ambrose.
Penalty flag on the play, and Michael Pittman's brought down at the line of scrimmage by Orlando Ruff.
Tell you, the offensive line right now for Tampa Bay is looking not only lethargic, but
96 defense,
lackadaisical.
5 yards, repeat, second down.
That's called on Mel Williams. You know what, Tim? We've been doing games here since Raymond James Stadium opened in '96, and I can't remember hearing the crowd this quiet, ever. Usually they're in it because the Bucs are usually playing well. They have never had a losing season at this stadium, but so far this season, they're only 1-2 and down by 14 points in the fourth quarter in this one. Fans don't really know what to do. Here's Brad Johnson. That one batted away. Nice play by the linebacker. James Allen getting a hand in there to force that one away.
That was just excellent coverage. And I think what you're seeing now is Brad Johnson saying, you know, my receivers are covered up, and when I hang on to the ball, I'm getting turnovers. So I'm just going to try to start throwing the ball in there, whether they're covered or not, and let them go ahead and make a play. You can see it here. Johnson is looking right at Dilger, and there's the coverage, but he just puts it out there anyway.
They need the 13-yard line to keep the drive going. That one caught by Keenan McCardell. Good enough for the first. Out to the 14. Roger Knight with the tackle.
And Brad Johnson does the same thing on that play because McCardell was covered. The coverage was there, but Johnson's just pulling the trigger anyway. 2-minute again, Kurt. I'm thinking Keyshawn Johnson is where you want to put that ball.
That's a quick pass out to Keyshawn, stiff arm, and Johnson going to ride Fred Thomas for another 10 yards on the play. There is a penalty flag down, but a nice job of continuing to run after the contact by Keyshawn. Gain of 12 overall if it stands.
Well, if it does stand, then that'll be Keyshawn's 9th catch. And you said Roman Oben told you he was going to have a 9-catch day.
Too many men on the field of the defense. Penalty is declined.
So does that mean he's got to stop at 9, or is it possible that he
Well, he doesn't have the
at least 9?
He doesn't have the 150 yards yet. So
there you go. Well, you take a look at his day today, and that was a beautiful catch right there. Keyshawn has had a couple drops, but he's also made some spectacular catches.
And that last one for a gain of 23. You see he's over the 100-yard receiving mark, but he got another dozen after the initial contact. Nice job of coming back to the ball for the catch by Carl Williams. And suddenly this Buccaneer offense looks to be putting a little something together.
Suddenly Brad Johnson is it's almost like he's forcing himself to be decisive, and he's staying with his primary receiver and saying, all right, I would imagine he said in the huddle, you guys just make plays. I'm throwing it to you whether you're covered or not.
They go with the no huddle once again. First down at the 48. Tipped again at the line of scrimmage, still caught. Carl Williams makes the grab, a gain of 9.
When you think that you've not been lucky all day, something like this happens. Kendrick Allen, enormous lineman for the Saints. He gets his hands right in there, bats that ball.
Michael Pittman takes it and picks up the first down for the Bucs.
Roger Knight. First down, Tampa Bay.
And the Buccaneers now moving the chains. Keyshawn is standing on the sideline right now, but he's had a big day. 9 catches, 116 yards, including a big one on this drive. McCardell, another Buccaneer first down, 12 more yards.
And again, Kurt, Brad Johnson just staying with his receiver. McCardell had Fakir Brown. Fakir Brown was in perfect position. But Johnson's just sticking it in there, whether they're covered or not.
Completes his 6th pass in a row. Michael Pittman takes it into the end zone for the Buccaneer touchdown.
There go the cannons. And now all of a sudden this crowd picks up a little bit.
Oh, Michael Pittman scores from 26 yards away. That caps off a 97-yard drive. Bucs longest of the day, Bucs best of the day. Here's Martin Gramatica, who's missed a field goal from 36 yards away to attempt the extra point. And it is good. And so Brad Johnson found his rhythm, completing 6 straight passes. The last one good enough for the Bucs' first score.
A truck like this isn't built in a factory. It's built in the farms and fields, concrete streets and construction sites that map the landscape of an entire country. Because when Ford builds the new F-150, there are promises to keep. And only one truck earned the right to be the next F-150. If you haven't looked at Ford lately, look again.
I'm going downtown. Can I give you a lift?
Sure, thanks.
Smooth. But not rich.
Hi. Can I give you a lift?
Rich.
Sure, thanks.
But not smooth. Michelob Amber Bach. Rich and smooth.
Get ready to laugh out loud with the premiere of Fox Sunday. First, it's Brad Pitt as Boomhauer's brother. On the King of the Hill season premiere. Then it's the all-new Simpsons Treehouse of Horror, where Homer becomes the Grim Reaper.
These seats suck.
Leave everything to me. Coming through, rest in peace, you're dead, take a dirt nap, feed the worm.
Part of the full hour. And Malcolm's Family hits Vegas with David Cassidy.
Those aren't for you. Pass them on.
Plus, from Ron Howard and Imagine Television comes the premiere of Arrested Development, the show Time Magazine calls the fall's best new sitcom.
You love it here? I'm having the time of my life. Hey, T-Bone.
Fox Laugh Out Loud Sunday premieres at 7:30, 6:30 Central tonight.
Brad Johnson finds Michael Pittman on a little angle route, Kurt. And then Pittman makes Jay Bellamy. Watch Pittman. There's the angle route right there. He leaves Knight, the linebacker, flat-footed. And there's the move he puts on Jay Bellamy to spring himself into the end zone. Again, Brad Johnson throwing to his primary receiver. He did that on every pass play of that drive.
Here's the kickoff from Grammatica. Michael Lewis at the 2. He'll be brought down right about the 27-yard line. Saints take over from there, holding on to a 7-point lead.
Get closer to this season's NFL action with NFL.com Field Pass. Listen to live radio broadcasts of more than 200 games, plus get post-game shows from around the league. Watch video previews, game highlights, and exclusive features from NFL films.
Amazing, astounding, colossal.
NFL.com Field Pass is your all-access ticket to the NFL. Touchdown! Get your Field Pass today, only on NFL.com.
Saints take over at the 27-yard line. Duce McAllister nowhere to run. Buccaneers wrap him up. He'll fall forward for a gain of 2 on the play.
When McFarland and Sapp both did a great job at the point of attack on that play. Just stuffed it right up the middle.
Well, this is a key game in the NFC South, and the Buccaneers trying to win it because Carolina is having trouble in Houston right now.
If that happens, then that makes this even more important for Tampa Bay, who plays in Carolina next week. But they've got to win this one first.
Well, the crowd has come back to life after that 97-yard drive. McAllister. Nowhere. Another short pickup, maybe a yard, yard and a half. Shelton Quarles with the stop. And that gets Duce McAllister over the 100-yard mark for the afternoon, his 6th straight game, but right now they need him to run it a little bit more, to massage a little bit more of this clock.
And I'll tell you this, Kurt, most of that yardage and the success of the Saints running game was almost all in the first half, because in this second half here, the Tampa Bay defense has shut down the run game by the Saints.
On 3rd down, Saints have to get it to the 37-yard line. Brooks, incomplete. Warren Sapp was coming right in his face and forced him to throw that one before he wanted to.
Well, Sapp was not only in his face, I think he affected that throw with the hit that he got on Aaron Brooks. Here's Sapp right here. Just a quick swim move, and he's on Brooks real quick. Watch it right here, and he hits him just as Brooks releases that ball. And you see the ball coming out of there like a duck.
Tim Wansley backed up, makes it at the 17. Lost the football. And this has been the trouble for the Buccaneers all day. The Saints have recovered. Deverin Harper got in there and stripped it away from Wansley. The officials have already signaled Saints ball. This is the 5th turnover of the afternoon by Tampa Bay. And just when it looked like momentum had switched to the Buccaneers' side, the Saints come up with a big play.
Here comes Harper right around, and it's the left hand that just jars that thing out of there. He really wasn't even going for the strip. He just put his hand on him, trying to make the tackle with his left hand, and it pops right out. Boy, nice shedding of the block first, right?
And these were two teams that came in on opposite ends of the spectrum. Steve Gleason with a recovery. The 5th turnover recovered by the Saints defense, and coming into today, they had only 7 all year long on defense. This one was special teams play, but still, this Buccaneer offense and this Buccaneer team had not turned the ball over only 8 times all year, and they've got 5 today. And it gives the Saints great starting field position at the 27 of Tampa Bay. Duce McAllister. Caught in the backfield, keeps on fighting. Shelton Quarles had him initially, but he got away from there and helps up the young photographer, making sure she's okay. Finally forced out by Simeon Rice. And they're -4 the turnover margin. They've had 5. They did get 1. But this is not the way the Buccaneers have played all season long. They've been very good at creating turnovers and holding on to the football, but not on this afternoon.
I like the toss to Duce to the outside, Kurt, because as I said, in the second half, the Tampa Bay defense has shut down the inside run almost completely. But now, if you have success on the toss, you can start to stretch that defense, and then maybe you can send it up the middle.
There's McAllister. Hit right at the 20-yard line. No gain on the play. Derek Brooks with the tackle. And you see the clock just keeps on ticking down to 5:20. Working in favor of the Saints and to the detriment of the Buccaneers right now.
It'd be amazing, Kurt, if Tampa Bay does not prevail, that they've halfway point in the season have not been able to string 2 wins together.
Well, right now the Saints playing with Montre Holland, their 4th-round pick out of Florida State, in at left guard. We mentioned at the beginning Kendall Jaycox was trying to get through this one with a sore knee. Saints called a timeout on 3rd down. Duce McAllister took a look, saw the play clock winding down, and decided to get that timeout so they wouldn't take the penalty. Long day for the Bucs.
Welcome to McNabb 101, the fundamentals of football. Football can teach you a lot of interesting things, like how to perform under pressure, how to express yourself.
There's a lot of Mississippi balls over there, a lot of football.
Most importantly, football teaches you how to have fun.
Buccaneers win in San Diego.
So what are we waiting on? Let's go play some football. Let's go. Let's go make it happen now.
Oh, Duce McAllister, 24 carries, 109 yards, his 6th straight game, a brand new team record of more than 100 yards.
That's a 4.5 average that he's had all season.
The Buccaneer defense trying to stop the Saints from getting the 1st down. New Orleans needs the 17. The pitch to McAllister. He won't get there. Stopped in the backfield for a loss of 2. Anthony McFarland.
That's good defense right there. That's why people typically don't run to the outside against this Tampa Bay defense, because of their speed. Because here they come. Derek Brooks, too fast. Anthony McFarland, too quick down the line.
This is an important field goal attempt by John Carney. Began his career 14 years ago with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now looking for the kick that would give the Saints a 10-point lead, make it a 2-possession ball game. This from 40 yards away. And Mitch Berger calls the timeout. Once again, that play clock winding down a little too closely.
No reason to rush the mechanics on this one.
Keep in mind, we've got the second half of our Fox NFL Sunday doubleheader coming your way. The Cowboys and the Redskins from Texas Stadium. Most of you will catch that game. Others will see the Rams and the 49ers, or the Eagles and the Falcons. It's all part of our Fox NFL Sunday doubleheader coming up next.
And really, anything can happen, right? I mean,
and Dallas, it usually does.
Yeah, and it is happening in this league. I think a lot of the reason for the parity is you've got rosters where a lot of your backups are younger, inexperienced guys. And so anytime you have injuries, which every team has, the guys that have to step in and play are guys that aren't developed veterans for 6, 7, 8-year veterans like they used to be before the new salary cap structure.
Well, Carney's a veteran field goal kicker. We mentioned his 14 years in the league, and he's as solid as they come, third all-time in accuracy coming into this season. From 40 yards away. And he misses. And so the Buccaneers are still alive with 3:53 left to go.
And it was a high snap, Kurt, that I think affected the timing of this kick. Berger's got to come up a little bit too high, and I just think it affected Carney's timing.
And keep in mind, the Buccaneers get the ball at the spot of the kick, so it's back at the 30-yard line. 3:53 left to go in the game. Tampa Bay working with all 3 of their timeouts. Last time Bucs had the ball, they drove it for 97 yards and their only touchdown. Michael Pittman gets back to the line of scrimmage and nowhere further. That's it.
And the crowd doesn't like that, and I don't get that one either. Time is running out. You run the ball and keep the clock going.
Going without a huddle. Pittman with the catch, 11 yards and a first down. Fakir Brown, the victim on that one, and Michael Pittman a little bit slow to get up. So he goes out, Thomas Jones comes in. First down for the Bucs. Johnson out to Thomas Jones, makes a move, gets a block. Jones down the sideline, tackled by Bucky Jones at the 30 of New Orleans. But another big play here in this fourth quarter, 29 yards on the game.
That was an extremely well-executed blitz with Kerry Jenkins getting the key block that springs Jones downfield.
This Buccaneer offense drove it 97 yards on their last possession. They seem to be in the same rhythm here. Keyshawn Johnson all tangled up with Fakir Brown. No flag.
That's the matchup, though, Kurt. I think I'd go back to that. I think if you've got Keyshawn Johnson being guarded one-on-one by Fakir Brown, with the day that Keyshawn's had today, I think you just keep going back to it.
Keyshawn Johnson with 9 catches, 116 yards receiving. 3 wide receivers on second down. Up top for Keyshawn, fighting on the other side with Ashley Ambrose, incomplete. So the Saints defense sensing on these last 2 plays that Keyshawn's the guy they want to go to, at least down the stretch here. Keyshawn's had a big day.
And we've seen Brad Johnson again on that previous drive, on their touchdown drive, getting rid of the ball quickly, reacting to the pressure that Willie Whitehead and the Saints had put on him from time to time today, especially in the third quarter and the early part of the fourth quarter.
They need the 20 for the first. Brad Johnson being pressured. Keyshawn Johnson tried to make the adjustment but couldn't. Fakir Brown right in there with him, but go all the way back to Willie Whitehead and the pressure he put on Brad Johnson.
Brad Johnson took such a shot on this play. He was lucky just to get this pass off. But again, there's the matchup. Fakir Brown against Keyshawn Johnson. Johnson does a nice job coming back to it, but watch the shot that Willie Whitehead puts on Brad.
Willie Whitehead already with 3 sacks in this game and a forced fumble. They're sending him back out there. Go ahead, we need you on 4th down. The Saints call the timeout. Well, you saw Willie Whitehead trying to get out of the game to catch his breath. He was slow getting up after hitting Brad Johnson.
Yeah, and you can see him
send
right
him right back out, so they'll give him a chance to catch his breath by calling the timeout.
There's nothing more exhausting for a defensive lineman than a 2-minute drill, because you don't have the break between plays. It's usually a hurry-up offense, and trying to rush a passer, it's like a mini wrestling match. You're working, you're straining against a huge offensive lineman, and whether you beat him or not, when that pass goes off, then your job, Kurt, is to race downfield to where the football is.
And remember how hot it is today. And the high temperature was expected to be 86 degrees. It was already in the mid-80s at kickoff. And both these teams have been on the field in the sun for a long time.
I'll tell you one thing the Saints defense has not done today, Kurt, is they really have not blitzed Brad Johnson very much at all. They've relied on their front 4 to get the pressure on the Tampa quarterback.
Bucs have to get it to the 20 here on 4th down. This will be a free play for Johnson. For McCardell, makes the catch. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Welcome to the party, those of you that watch Carolina and Houston. Carolina going down to defeat, and the Buccaneers, who are down 14-0 in the 4th quarter, have just come back to tie it on a touchdown reception by Keenan McCardell.
5 turnovers today for Tampa Bay, but still late here in the 4th quarter, Gruden's guys coming back. And they're doing it because of Brad Johnson throwing the football.
Martin Gramatica trying to tie it up with the extra point. And that 14-0 deficit is erased. Brad Johnson, 30 yards on the TD pass to McCardell. And Brad Johnson's got 2 TD passes here in this quarter.
Well, it's a free play because Kenny Smith jumps off sides, but Brad Johnson knows it. He saw the flags, he knew it was against the Saints, and he just put that ball right in there perfectly. McCardell being guarded by Fakir Brown. Again, Dale Carter, the starting cornerback for the Saints, left the game with a bad quad.
And the Buccaneers have victimized Brown all day long since he's been in there. Taking advantage, going to Keyshawn Johnson on that touchdown, going to Keenan McCardell. But whatever it is, he seems to be the guy they want to go after, and it's worked so far. They come back from being down by 2 scores to even it with 2:08 left to play here in regulation.
For a while, Kurt, the Saints defense was getting to Brad Johnson. They sacked him 4 times, and then I think in the last 2 drives, Johnson was getting rid of the ball quicker. He was throwing at his receivers, whether they were covered or not, trusting them to make the plays, and they did.
Here's the kickoff from Gramatica. Michael Lewis from the 7. Forced out of bounds by Dwayne Rudd. That'll take us to the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes left here in Tampa in regulation, we mind you, because it's all even at 14.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by SBC, going beyond the call.
Whether they wear a tool belt or a necktie, SBC's nearly 170,000 employees, many of them third generation, are just working people working their tails off, just so you can get on the phone and ask what's for dinner, or say ship 5,000 widgets to my warehouse. Most people take the old dial tone for granted. We don't. We can't. Ordinary people, extraordinary job. SBC. Going beyond the call.
Where most minivans score an F on the report card is in the versatility of their interiors. Yet this is where Freestar earns an A for its ease of use. So the next time you hear the term interior flexibility, that's what they're talking about. That's smart engineering.
The all-new Ford Freestar. If you haven't looked at Ford lately, look again.
Fox Tuesday.
Someone's threatening to release a virus here in LA.
First, it's a special encore of the season premiere of 24.
The damage to this country would be catastrophic.
Then, on an all-new episode, a nation facing its greatest disaster.
They found a body that's been infected.
A man fighting his weakest moment.
I am not going on record with this addiction.
The crisis is just beginning.
Chase, we got a runner! Get out of the way! Move!
24, 2 full hours. It all starts at 8, 7 Central, Fox Tuesday.
With the loss by the Carolina Panthers at Houston, Tampa Bay can move to within a game of first place if they can knock off the New Orleans Saints in this one. The Buccaneers have come back from being down 14-0 here in the fourth quarter to tie the game at 14 apiece. 2 minutes left to go. Saints out of timeouts. Buccaneers with all three of theirs. Brooks from the shotgun. Underneath to Joe Horn. Horn makes the catch, but only for a short pickup of 4 yards. Rondé Barber on the tackle, and the clock keeps moving.
And Joe Horn is the guy you'd think the Tampa Bay defense would focus on right now. He has been Aaron Brooks' clutch player all season long.
To the sideline. Pathon makes the catch, gets out of bounds about a yard short of the first.
Well, Kurt, you talked about the tremendous comeback by Tampa Bay. These 2 touchdown passes, one to Michael Pittman, where he makes the safety miss and gets into the end zone, and this one, a free play after the Saints go offside. Brad Johnson lofts it up for Keenan McCardell and finds him for his second touchdown. Brad Johnson, 9 for 14, 157 yards, 2 touchdowns on the last 2 drives. Saints force 5 turnovers to get their 14 points of the game.
They need a yard here on third down. They get it. Michael Lewis into Tampa Bay territory. Tripped up by David Gibson, but a gain of 18.
Just to remind everyone, Tampa Bay, without John Lynch, starters safety John Lynch, and cornerback Brian Kelly, they're being replaced by Wansley. Jermaine Phillips was the backup for Lynch, but he's hurt.
Here's Brooks. McAllister out of the backfield. Nice open field tackle made by Rondé Barber to hold him to a gain of 2. Well, the Saints out of timeouts right now, and remember John Carney has already missed a 40-yard field goal in this fourth quarter that would have given him a 10-point lead. The Buccaneers got the ball back, went right down the field, and scored the touchdown to tie it. Buccaneers trying to get their second win in a row for the first time this season. They played win one, lose one every single week so far. Nice catch, Boo Williams. On Halloween weekend, leave it to Boo to put a scare in this Buccaneer crowd. Down to 49 seconds left, and that may be good enough to get him in Carney's field goal range.
One thing you can be sure about with Saints quarterback Aaron Brooks, who has not had a great day today by any means. He's thrown some really inaccurate passes, but he will maintain his composure in a critical situation like this. With a tie score, with no timeouts left, Aaron Brooks is one of those guys who seems to rise to that kind of occasion.
Carney has missed from 40 today, but his season long is 50. Duce McAllister. And McAllister will pick up 2 yards on the run. McAllister, so far in the afternoon,
That was
110 yards on the ground.
That was excellent reaction by Warren Sapp and Anthony McFarland, Kurt, because everyone's thinking pass, and those guys are in the pass rush mode, and then they come back to make the play on the draw.
And the Saints will let the clock just keep on going down under 30 seconds now. There's still 15 seconds left on the play clock, so they've got plenty of time. Brooks just throws it away so that they can keep it where it is and not lose any territory. 13 seconds left to go. John Carney warmed up on the sideline, and they'll come out, try and give themselves a little room for error here, going for the field goal attempt on 3rd down. Remember, if there's a bad snap or something, now they can fall on the ball, still have another down to try and kick the field goal. This will be from 48 yards away. Kevin Hauser with the snap. Mitch Berger with the hold, but there'll be a timeout first called by the Buccaneers. Can you ice a 14-year veteran?
Yeah, especially after he missed his first and only kick of the day. Then you can do it.
Keep in mind, as soon as we are done here, we'll take you to the second half of our Fox NFL Sunday doubleheader. Most of you will catch the Redskins and the Cowboys coming your way from Dallas. John Carney hoping we get you there in very short order if he can make this field goal and put the Saints on top.
Well, John Gruden's teeth have got to be down to nubs. I mean, 2 of their 3 losses this season were in games that were just as close as this one.
2 of their 3 losses have come in overtime, so it's been on a last-second kick, both those. Right now, John Carney trying to make it 3 games. Mitch Berger takes the knee right on the 38-yard line for the 48-yard attempt. Good snap, good hold. It's up. And it splits the uprights. John Carney, officially from 47 yards away with 8 seconds left, gives the Saints a 3-point lead.
We said right from the beginning of this game, Kurt, the formula for beating Tampa Bay this season has been run the football against their defense. They did that successfully, and on this drive here, Aaron Brooks made some critical passes. Carney comes through.
John Carney, who began his NFL career with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers back in 1987, comes in and sticks a dagger in their heart. And with 8 seconds left, the Bucs find themselves down by 3 and on the verge of dropping to 4-4. Keyshawn Johnson had a huge day. 9 catches, 116 yards. And this Buccaneer offense and special teams unit did have 1 turnover as well, but the offense really victimizing themselves. 5 total turnovers for the Buccaneers today. All of New Orleans' points before that field goal right there had come off of turnovers.
And New Orleans, who beat Tampa Bay 2 times last year, gave them 2 of their only 4 losses on the season. Looks like they're going to do it again, and that kind of keeps them in the NFC South race, keeps them alive.
Is it over? The Tampa Bay Buccaneers have never, in their 28-year history, returned to kickoff for a touchdown. They need one here. Squib down the middle of the field. Reggie Barlow. And he is tackled. There's still some time left on the clock. Steve Gleason made the stop. 3 seconds left to go for Brad Johnson and the Buccaneers. When we're done here, before we get you to the second half of our Fox NFL Sunday doubleheader, JB and the gang will get you all updated on what's going on around the rest of the National Football League with the SBC Game Break Show. 3 seconds left on the clock. 17-14 Saints on top. Brad Johnson has been brilliant in this 4th quarter. but needs a miracle play right now. Ball on the 34. And it looked like movement on the left side by the left tackle, Kenyatta Walker.
Still first down.
Kenyatta Walker in there because of the injury to Roman Oberon. And this probably doesn't matter a whole lot because it's a Hail Mary situation anyway.
I think everyone looks at a Tampa Bay loss and say, how did they lose it? But part of you has to look at the Saints defense and say, how did they win it? They ran the ball. They stopped Tampa Bay from running the ball. And at times they put great pressure on quarterback Brad Johnson. Johnson sacked 4 times today.
Here's Johnson. Short pass. Keyshawn, hook and ladder. And they give it back. McCardell. This is looking like the old Stanford band play. They get it all the way across.
Now they're in trouble, though.
Yeah, exactly. When you get Kosi Coleman trying to run it, he gives it to another lineman, Cordell Green. This is like a rugby scrum. Everybody is okay, and that'll end it. Well, just about everybody on the Buccaneers offense had a chance to be the hero at the end, but it wouldn't happen. The New Orleans Saints come into Tampa, hand the Buccaneers their 4th loss in the season. Tampa Bay drops to 4-4, and the New Orleans Saints are still alive in the NFC South. They're now 4-5, and keep in mind Carolina lost today. 17-14, New Orleans the final. For my partner Tim Green and everyone, I'm Kurt Menefee. Take it away, JB.
Welcome to the SBC Game Break, brought to you by SBC.
All right, so for those of you who watched Tampa lose its 3rd consecutive game to the New Orleans Saints, again, we're going to be taking you to your late game, as well as those who were watching the game between the Giants and the Jets. Again, we indicated that we could only keep you until 10 after. We will keep you updated on that contest, but let's get you out to your contest coming up next.
Over the past 10 years, some of the greatest moments in all of sports happened right here on Fox.
Driven into right center field. Erstad says he has it. The Angels, world champions.
You are watching Fox Sports, celebrating 10 years of excellence.
It's not every day you find fun and function all in one. But Chrysler PT Cruiser isn't your everyday vehicle. Surprising versatility ups the fun factor, while fold flat seats, air, tilt, power windows, and steering add to function. Plus, get our 770 powertrain limited warranty. And right now, get a $2,000 cash allowance or 0% APR financing for 36 months on PT Cruiser. Get one of the best values in America, PT Cruiser, at your Chrysler dealer today.
Guys, let him depart. He hath no stomach for this fight. But we shall be remembered. We few.
We happy few. We band of brothers.
We band of sparrows.
Get what you need from the internet faster. Get SBC Yahoo DSL for just $26.95 a month when you sign up online. And you could win a trip to the Nokia Sugar Bowl. One more way, we bring it all home.
Book online from anywhere. Northwest Airlines. Now you're flying smart.
You're watching Fox 17, West Michigan's Fox.
You don't lose games at home when you're a playoff caliber football team, especially a defending world champion, and expect for that to continue. Right?
3rd consecutive victory by the Saints over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. All right, folks, we will keep you updated on the overtime affair, but now out to your contest.
Got an